What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy. You guys are watching Warfels Morse. This Sunday, we have a great guest. I was pleased to have him on. He's actually started to sponsor some of our episodes. We have Gershon from GP Snakes joining us. So I'm going to do something different that I haven't done yet. So bear with me on this. If it screws up, I apologize. It is an all new thing that I'm running with on this. So bear with me, but hopefully this works. All right, hopefully that worked.
It worked. It played for me. I saw it play.
Gershon, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me. I'm actually trying to put it on Instagram that I'm on the show. So I'm not distracted. I'm trying to promote.
You're all good. You're all good. For everybody that doesn't know, Gershon has helped me figure out how to upload videos to be able to do like the intro thing, and on how to be able to throw in sponsorship ads throughout videos or throughout live streams anyway. So that was like an experimental test run.
Hey, I'm going to actually show you how to do it, how to have it be like a countdown, and then your intro plays, and then you pop on. I'm gonna show you that. We'll talk about that after the show.
I was gonna say, yeah, I like that thought too. It's gonna get all sorts of complicated on the next live. I'm just gonna screw it all up, right? And we're all just gonna be sitting here going, "Why did I even say I'd come on this show?"
Don't worry, we're gonna have you streaming like a professional or semi-professional soon.
I'll just take amateur at this point. I'm not gonna be picky.
Hey, that's why I love doing lives. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
You're telling me. All right, let's go through the list here and see who all has joined us so far. We've got Rob. What's up, Rob? We've got Chris. For those of you that don't know, actually probably almost nobody knows unless you were at the breakfast yesterday. Chris came to my house after the breakfast, and we ultrasounded all of my girls. So we got some good news. We got some, I don't want to say bad news, but we found out where everybody's at. Put it that way. But huge help. And while we're on, Chris, thanks for the shirt, brother.
Nice.
Like it's comfortable. Ooh. I don't know if you guys just caught that, but Zena just struck at me.
Yep.
That's her true colors. But anyway, had a great time up there at the breakfast. That was awesome. We've got Phil in the chat. We've got Jeremy and Holly from Snakes for the Memories. We've got my niece Lexi, which is Waffles. We've got Juicy Tequila Bobo. I think she's Juicy. I think you're a new one here. I don't remember seeing you on here yet. So welcome. We've got. I finally found out who this certain individual is. This is actually apparently my son's girlfriend, Rosie.
Oh.
Which that's a whole nother story that is absolutely hilarious. But he finally told me, and it's just, I was just kind of like, well, that's kind of cool. So, Rosie, thanks for tuning in with us. I appreciate all your support. And we've got Mark from 403. We've got Jordan from JL Royals. Thanks for tuning in. We've got Sandra Mitchell. Thanks for tuning in. Wow, this chat is hopping off the hook already. Gershon, you bring them all out, brother.
Hey, I may have brought 2 or 3 people, maybe 2 or 3.
We've got Nicole from Lady Tiz. Thanks, Nicole, for tuning in. We've got Pod and Joy, which is Sean, if I remember correctly. He was actually at the breakfast, so I got to meet Sean.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm terrible with names, so.
Oh, me too. 100%.
Joy, if I'm wrong with calling you Sean, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to remember best I can. There's so many new faces and so many conversations that went on. It was great. Let's see here. We've got Clint. Clint, thanks for tuning in. And we've got Gershon.
So Juicy is Celtic balls. She put it in. That's Celtic balls in the Juicy tequila. That's Celtic balls.
It is.
Yeah, it's Angie.
Oh, Angie. How did I not know this?
It was. I just read it. So.
Oh.
But hey, everyone! Thanks for coming. Appreciate you guys coming up, hanging out with us.
There's the doggy.
Yeah, my wife just came downstairs. They bark every time someone comes downstairs.
We were live the other night. I was just laughing with the dogs. I was waiting to see. How you handled it. It was just priceless. You were so patient with it.
Yeah, I mean, I know who they are. I know. I usually try to either let them go outside ahead of time, so they're super calm when they come back in and chill. They don't run around. But I didn't time it that well. My last live didn't time it right. I was like, oh, we're gonna have to just go get them.
All right, before I get into asking you questions, Gershon, and us getting into everything, I wanted to go through some of it because I started kind of like doing this where on the lives I give the shout outs for people I did sticker swaps with and all that stuff. So we're going to start with CRW Python Morse. Hopefully I can let me do this.
Yeah, go full screen. Yeah.
CRW Python Morse. That was like a really nice, like it's a really thick kind of postcard thing with these awesome stickers, which will end up going on the sticker door and incubator.
I'm going to go let my dogs out. You keep going.
No, you're good. You're good. We've got stickers from Bosa Balls, which I've been practicing all day, and I'm afraid to even try to say it right. But how did that thing say it? Kika or no? I think it's Kika. Kika. I think that's how. I'm sorry. I'm not going to try to do this anymore. But awesome stickers. I love the I love the hollows. It's guilty pleasure of mine. I love hollows. But awesome stickers there. And then from the breakfast, I got a sticker from Kai at Lucas Landon Royals. And I got my holographic sticker from Chris at BNS Reptilia on top of this awesome shirt. So that is all the new additions and sticker swap stuff.
Yeah, Aaron needs to send me a sticker. I didn't see he got stickers now. He didn't even let me know. I got to hit him up, though. I haven't said anything either.
All right. So you call him Aaron then?
I call him Aaron. I was like, I'm going to mess up. I think it's pronounced Bosa. Or is it? I'm going to mess it up.
Bosa, but then yeah, he put a thing up on Instagram to help everybody out that was struggling.
He did.
And I'm so thankful for it. And I listened to it. I even listened to it today like a few times, just so that way I wouldn't screw it up. And I swear I still butchered it.
I tell everybody I'm gonna be terrible at pronouncing your name, reading your name. Don't take it personally. It is a badge of honor when it happens because I'm horrible at it. I do it nothing but from love, 100%.
Okay, Chris and Jeremy and Holly, I think have it right. That sounds right. Kike.
Kike, okay.
Kike. I think that sounds right.
Okay.
Where is he when you need him?
Exactly. I was waiting for him to come because I know I don't know if it was on my live or somebody else's live. I told people start putting either your first name or what you want people to call you by on your Instagram. So when people either contact you about stuff, they know how to either say your name or at least know what your name is.
That's true.
There's so many people on Instagram that don't have their name. They have their business name, but they don't have their name there. So I don't know what to call you necessarily. And if I'm hitting you up to see if you would like to be a guest, I like to try to say your name, be a little formal and be polite.
You don't want to, when they're on your show, you don't want to like really just like totally just drop the ball.
Exactly.
Like face plant with it too. You just don't want to do it.
I want to at least put it into my text to speech and see if I'm getting close to saying it right.
Yes. Oh shoot! See, I knew this was going to be a fun live. I was looking forward to this all day, Gershon, all day. So
I appreciate that.
Let's get into it here a little bit. What got you into breeding snakes? And like on top of it, what snake was your inspiration to actually start breeding?
So, at first, when I first got snakes, I wanted a snake for a long time, but I was living at home with my mother, and she said you can have any animal you want, long as it has legs. So that immediately ruled out snakes. Immediately. So the moment I moved out, I got my first ball python. Fell in love with ball pythons. My second snake was a red-tailed boa, which I still have. I got her when she was a month old, so I've had her whole life. She will die with me. She's a forever pet. And then she's about close to 8 feet now. Yeah, I'm about to try to upgrade her cage and give her a nice display cage. I'm just looking for the right one. I can be picky about that because I don't want to take her. I have her in a Christmas tub, and she does really well with sheds in there and eats fine. So I don't want to change that too much. I'm really hesitant to get in her a cage because I don't want her to have problems shedding and stuff in a cage. But she can definitely use more space, and I would like to be able to just see her at a glance. That would be nice. But then I got a green tree python was my third snake. So I went from one of the easier snakes to have to a kind of difficult snake to keep humidity and all that good stuff right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hit an emerald tree boa for my fourth one. Yeah, I just kept going up.
So basically you're starting off with how something puppy dog tame to something that's still puppy dog tame but big.
Yeah.
And then you start getting into the stereotypical nippy. You don't want to get bit by any of these at all.
Yeah. Which I got bit by both of them on multiple occasions. But then I realized like I was starting to collect a lot of different species. And I'm like, okay, which direction do I want to go? Like I wanted to breed green tree pythons and emerald tree boas, but I realized to do that, you need room. You need big cages for them, well, decent sized cages and everything. And I love them to death, but they are not the easiest to breed and can be heart-wrenching trying to reproduce them. A lot of people tell me it's not easy to get them to breed and reproduce live babies and be able to do that. And I'm a little emotional and I get attached. I can separate, but I get attached. But seeing animals not make it, that just kill me. Kill me. So I went back to ball pythons and I realized, well, if I'm going to do ball pythons, I might have to just focus on ball pythons and only have them because I wouldn't have the time to dedicate to other species that take more time with cleaning and need to be handled and just be closer to people to keep them from being so cage aggressive. So I decided to let go of my green tree pythons. Actually, they died. My emerald tree boa died. I am not even 100% sure what happened to her. She was good one week, and another week she started to get a little lethargic, and then a day later she was dead. So it was, and I had her for like 5 years at that point. So I've had her for a long time, had everything dialed in. She was good. But sometimes that happens with animals. Something happens that you can't necessarily see, and there's no signs ahead of time that they're sick or anything.
Yeah.
And then I kept my green tree for another 2.5 years as I started to build up ball pythons, and then he passed away. So I was like, okay, now I can just focus on ball pythons, and once I get real stable with them, maybe I'll go back to Green Tree and Emeralds and maybe try to breed them down the road because I still want to do that. I think I'm at a better emotional state to deal with the devastation that could happen with them.
Well, doing this, I mean, with the ball pythons, I mean, it definitely gets you more, I don't want to say accustomed to things like that, but I mean, it gives you, I don't even know how to want to put it. I guess it just kind of gets you into that not everything's happy go lucky and there are failures that you just can't, you have no control over.
It's a lot of upsides, but they hit you with the low sides where you can somewhat balance yourself out. But it gradually gets you into there. Well, for me, it wasn't very gradual. My first year breeding ball pythons, I got no eggs. I had a girl, she didn't even lay slugs. She laid paliplates or whatever. They were in the process of becoming slugs. So she laid this pile of white, looking deflated eggs with blood in it as well, which terrified me. It terrified me. She basically aborted the process because for some reason, she realized she wouldn't be able to carry the eggs. So she aborted it. And people were like, that doesn't happen very often. And this was a proven breeding girl too. So even threw me off even more.
Heck, that'd be enough to kind of really freak you out. I mean, on my end, I'd be like, dude, I'm done. I don't know what just happened here, but
and that was my first season trying to breed ball pythons. So yeah, first season.
That's the thing. Like when I got into this, you know, obviously I started out really slow because I'm still like just what I consider crawling at this moment still.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I heard all these horror stories of different things going wrong on, you know, just clutches, just full clutches, just all out, the eggs going bad. And like for instance, like what happened to you. And it's just like, you know, I was scared to death. Like after my first clutch got put in the incubator, I mean, I watched those suckers every day.
Yeah.
Just to make sure like I didn't miss anything with them. And luckily my first season went great, but it's like I heard all those horror stories and it put basically the fear of God in me as to, you know, I really got to pay attention to these, like, till I get the training wheels off and get comfortable with what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I remember my first year getting a snake with shark jaw and not knowing what it is, not knowing why it was happening, and try to figure out, what do I do for this animal? How do I help this animal? Do I need to put down this animal? Can this animal survive with this? And I had to come to terms that unless I was going to hand feed this animal for the rest of its life, it wasn't going to be able to eat on its own.
Oh, so it was a severe case of it then.
Yeah, it was a fear. The lower jaw was so weak it wouldn't necessarily open. So when I had to feed it, I had to use the mouse and pry its mouth open to get it in. It was able to swallow food, but it came down to the quality of life for that animal, and it was best to euthanize that animal, which really hurt. Really hurt. That was the first animal I ever had to euthanize. It takes its toll on you, and it really makes you think about, is breeding something you want to do? Because this is a possibility that's going to happen every year of breeding.
Yeah.
Whether you do everything perfect or whether you do something wrong, there's still a chance of that happening. I mean, this is a great podcast. We're doing so good.
This is, to me, I mean, this is what some people need to hear, because
true,
people getting into the hobby, that, you know, all they hear and see is success and all these great, amazing clutches. They don't think or see, you know, what happens and how it impacts people when you don't have those, you know, those great moments. You know, there's ups and downs like everything. I mean, I haven't experienced it yet, but I always look at it as, it's not, is it going to happen? It's when is it going to happen? That's how I look at it.
That's the thing I learned when I started learning started learning how to ride motorcycles. Someone told me there's two different types of motorcycle riders: people that have gone down and people that will go down.
Yep.
I was like, oh wow, that's very encouraging. And then 6 months later, I went down.
But so my buddy, I don't know if he's still on here. Tony, it was Charles was his name in here. He just lives. He's a good friend of mine. Lives like actually one street over and just at the end of the road. But he had gotten a motorcycle not that long ago. I guess it was like a year ago maybe, and he had laid his down. But like you said, it wasn't a matter of it was just a matter of when is it going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
That's the one thing that keeps me off of a motorcycle.
Yeah, I sold mine. I shut it down.
When I had 4 wheels, I tested my limits. If I had 2 wheels, it just wouldn't end good.
Yeah. I shut mine down because people are terrible drivers, and you have no protection out there on a motorcycle. Even wearing a helmet, you still can get smushed by someone. Oh, and I got kids now, so I got to be around to see them grow old.
Exactly. That's another thing that keeps me off of one is people are just crazy when they drive. Like I saw, and they had a road closed down today by my house. I have no idea how you get in an accident at this intersection. It's a T with a light. Like how? I don't get it. And it's not a bad spot either. I mean, it's just
you'll be amazed. People will find a way.
Yes. It's like Jurassic Park. Life will find a way.
Very true.
All right, we got Mike hopped in from Herp Collectors. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike?
We've got Creative Genetics. We've got PJ, which is Con Worker. PJ, thanks for tuning in. We've got Jesse from Musical Pythons tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Jesse. Tony, thanks for tuning in. I haven't seen you in the live for a while here, Tony. So it's good to see your face on here. Oh, he put his down in a class. Okay.
He got it right out the way.
Yeah. Jeremy just jinxed himself. Good job on that one, Jeremy. We've got Main Squeeze Reptiles. Thanks for tuning in. And that catches us up. All right. So let's go into – see, I got a checklist. Sometimes I do that banner thing sometimes, but others, like for every once in a while, for certain breeders, I don't feel like what I have in my banners is really, I don't want to say worthy, but most, like for people that already know you, I feel like you got to throw a little bit more something at you.
True. I can understand that.
So as far as your codoms that you're working with, what like which ones are you mainly focusing on?
Well, of course, for codoms, Inchy. I'm trying to put Inchy in everything. Everybody knows that. I'm dabbling into lavender. No, not lavender. Leopard and spot nose. I just got a mail for with those 2 genes, so I'm trying to work my Batman project there. I got GHI. What other codoms do I have? I really don't. Honestly, I don't have a lot of codoms now that I think about it. Yeah, GHI, Inchy, leopard, spot nose, pastel. Oh, I got a Mojave. Yeah. I actually don't have a lot of codoms now that I think about it.
So that's not a bad thing, though. It means you're more focused.
I'm definitely trying to get recessives in there everywhere, which gives me rooms to start putting codoms into those recessives down the road.
I know, like, I have a leopard lesser spot nose, and that thing is just stunning. I love the look of that. So leopard and spot nose, awesome combo. So I can only imagine. Can you get that leopard you were talking about? So
he's actually in quarantine. He's in quarantine right now because I got him at the Tinley show. He's in quarantine, and I'm putting my albino Inchy het clown female into quarantine with him because they're gonna breed together. Actually, I'm gonna put 2 females in there with him, and they're gonna go in quarantine and they're gonna start breeding in quarantine because she's already at like 12 millimeters. and I want to get albino into my Batman project to make albino Batmans. So that's the plan. So she's going into quarantine. I figured that was the smartest way to do it without having to wait another year necessarily.
Yeah.
And the pastel leopard spot nose head clown male I got from Justin at Pikeline Pythons. Really good guy, really beautiful animals. I definitely trust him, so I'm not too worried about my girl getting sick with that male. He'll be perfectly fine with her. I just want to make sure I do the quarantine process like I'm supposed to, because I'm trying to stick with that, even when it's people I know. But I'm trying to stick with that. Just stay in that preparation of my new inquiries, so I don't slip up and change that. You got to habit. That's the word. I was stay in that habit. Words are difficult.
There's an eye area on that one. I know, like the other day, I guess it was actually it was this week. I had a gentleman message me. I guess he was getting a divorce or something. Excuse me. And he was like, "Hey, I saw your truck at the local pet shop one day. I've been following you ever since, and wanted to know if I was be interested in purchasing any of his snakes." And he sent me pictures of everything, told me what everything was, and almost everything was a spider combo except for 2 pies. And I'm there, like, it was really hard because everybody knows I love spider.
Okay.
And it was really hard for me to turn down the spiders, but it's like, you know what? I have my spider kind of working where I want it at, and I really don't care to brand, like there weren't any heads of any sorts. So it's like, I don't really need those, because everything I want my spider to be doing at the moment, I need it in like Exantic, Desert Ghost, I need the het stuff. But I looked at those pies and I thought, oh man. So needless to say, we did a little bit of wheeling and dealing, and I ended up picking up 2 pies I was not planning on at all getting. I wasn't even planning on getting into the pod project.
Really? Okay.
But the price was right. Opportunity knocked. I thought it's probably a wise business decision, because I think I heard Adam and Jeremy Bald say about on how pies will sell all day long. Even just a plain pie will sell all day long. So I thought, it's like, you know what? I just figured I'll jump with it. I had, now I have the pies. It was a male and female combo too. So
you instantly can make pies. Yeah.
So it's like, I've got the Exantic, so I work Exantic into it. I've got the clown, so we got clown pie stuff. So it's kind of like, you know what? I can run a bunch of different. Oh, we got a bot in the house.
Oh yeah. So you got to make people blue so they can get those bots out of there faster.
How do you do that though?
We'll talk after the show. I'll teach you how to do that too. We'll teach you that too. Trust me, I learned this stuff on the fly 100%. But then I learned an easier way to do it during the show so it doesn't get so. I will talk about it. And I might make a video on this too, because a couple people asked me about that.
I bet you'd be a good hit.
That's 100% what Adam does. He literally just listens to what people ask him about, and he's like, "Okay, let me make a video about that," because you want to know how that's done.
Yeah. And speaking of Adam, my next video coming out is because of his asking about my electrical setup.
Okay.
So I have an electrical layout video coming up. So
Nice.
Hopefully it does good. We'll see how electrical stuff does on a snake channel. Let's see here. We've got Jesse saying looking for a powerful male VPI clown, some other codoms, and only seeing spider, unfortunately.
Yeah. I have my second spider. My first spider was just a regular spider male that I got when I first got into snakes. He was pickup number 5. I had him. His name was Iro. I had him for a long time. And then I let a friend keep him, because I decided to move a different way into projects once I started. like breeding stuff together. I let a friend keep him, and he's been living with him ever since. But I do like Spider. I like the dramatic pattern it has. I like what it does in other genes. But I get the industry is moving away from Spider in that morph for. I don't think it's necessarily the best reason, because every morph has some issue genetically down the line. Spiders can be devastating at times, yes, but you just have to pay attention to which spiders you're breeding. I think you can't breed that genetic issue out, but you can make it less of a hindrance on that animal.
I agree.
And people don't seem to want to take the time to do that, which I can understand. That's you have that choice, but I still plan to work with Spider here and there in things I enjoy.
Well, I know, like for me, like I don't want to say I have a lot. I have a decent amount, but I have one main focus, and that's like zebra bees. Like orange dream zebra bees. That's my that was my whole main focus for the spiders and the Xanthic stuff. Was from the day I saw a zebra bee, is like I've got to have that.
Mm.
And then after I produced that orange dream bumblebee this past season, then it's like, all right, I have to see that as an Xanthic now, because that's just so But main focus was the spider was just meant to be there for the zebra bee stuff. I mean, that was my main deal with it, was just for the Xanthic aspect of it, because that creates an amazing black and white snake.
It does. I am slowly getting more into the Xanthic and enjoying that. I do like the silver and black that Xanthic brings, and some just white and black that it brings. I'm just figuring out what angle I want to go into it with, because I don't necessarily want to just copy what everybody else is doing, but I do kind of look and see what everybody else is doing so I can figure out my own flair on it. I do the same thing, musical pythons. I have one male spider, and every female spider he produces, I will hold back because he's a desert ghost. That's if he does his job. If he does his job, which he hasn't been doing, he's made me a little upset. He hasn't been locking with the ladies like he should. And I've tried all the tricks. The bag trick, the take him on a ride trick, the rub sperm on another girl's back trick, the spray water, the shed in a bottle, shake it up, water spray. I've tried them all. He still hasn't got the job done. But everything he produces as female, I would hold back, and then I would let him go. So all my spiders would be female, and I would get another desert ghost male to produce desert ghosts with that male. But that's the smart way to go about it. But I totally forgot what we were talking about. I got excited about the potential.
It won't let me block this one bot. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? I don't understand why bots are all of a sudden attacking me. I must be doing something right.
That's what I see it as. You're getting big enough that they feel it's time to come mess with you.
I guess.
I see it as a positive.
We've got Angie and Jeff from Celtic Balls in. Hopefully you guys get my shirt and the new stickers. And
I need your new stickers as well. Put me on the list.
I was going to say, I'll get... well, you have your info on your...
on most of my videos and in my Instagram, I put my P.O. box there, which I just started checking it again because I was working night shift, so I would be asleep during the day, so I wouldn't have time to go to the. So I had like 6 different letters in there. it was. I had a shirt or 2 in there. So for those that sent me stuff, I'm sorry. I just got it like a week ago, and I'm starting to go through it now. So thank you.
No, I'll definitely make sure you get some of that stuff. We've got Steven and Courtney from Leviathan Snakes.
Hey guys.
Got Melinda from Cuddle Time Critters tuning in with us. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. I appreciate it.
Nice.
All right. That was our codom stuff we talked about. Now let's talk about recessive stuff. the reset. I know you're working with albino and clown. Obviously, are those
Yep.
the only main recessives you're focusing on? And where
So,
are you going?
what was the last part of the question?
Are those the main recessives you're working with, and where are you planning on taking those projects to?
Okay, so yes, I have a lot of albino, a lot more clown than albino than I realized. I also have. I just got genetic stripe. Well, I got genetic stripe last year. Got into that project. I have pied up there, and I know a lavender albino, and I'm working. What is it? Monarch super slow because I have a 100% het monarch male that I'm breeding to make pos hets to grow up to try to produce visuals because monarch was so expensive, but it's coming down now. So about time I hit some of these double recessive, uh, double recessive projects I have, I might be able to just buy a visual monarch. Um, but speaking on the albino and the clown, of course, I'm making albino clowns and trying to put codoms into the albino clown projects, mostly dark morphs into the albino clown projects, like black pastel, black head, GHI. That's the plan. I'm also trying to make albino clown pies because I learned that I produced a triple het girl. She was 100% double het clown pied, and last year I proved her out to also be het albino. So I was super excited about that.
Hell yeah!
Super excited. I didn't hit any double visuals in that clutch, but I hit an albino, which threw off my whole thinking of that clutch. It was like, oh my god, you're albino. I didn't think you were. I was trying to hit clown pies in that clutch, and I hit an albino. So now I have to find a male that's a triple het or a visual that's double het to go back to her to increase my chances of hitting the triple.
See,
But I also,
that's what scares me about getting to that point where, you know, going for the triple het thing, because either you're really going to gamble on it or you're going to spend some money to lessen your gamble. And I don't like it. I don't like the odds for me.
That's the road I'm going to have to go down, is to buy a visual that's double het for one or the other to greater my chance of hitting that visual. Or I can just get lucky, which I probably won't because I haven't been that lucky. Every so often, I get lucky every 3 years. I get lucky. But I also am working with Desert Ghost now. I have some het Desert Ghost girls growing up, but I also have my visual Desert Ghost male that I'm trying to not only pair to single gene morphs to make het, but also pairing to recessive females to make double. And I was hoping to make triple het albino G-stripe Desert Ghost, but he's not doing his job. He's not doing his job. So I don't think he got that girl pregnant. She is maybe 2 weeks away from ovulating, actually. I put a backup male, which is a clown het albino. So either I will get albinos that are double het for clown genetic stripe, or I'll get 100% genetic stripe albino clowns, or I might hit some butter spiders that are triple het for DG, albino, and genetic stripe.
That's a lot of different options.
It is. I don't know why I did that to myself. Because if everything comes out normal, I'm not gonna have any idea what's in that. Who's the father of this clutch? So I'm gonna have to hold everything back and send the sheds off and hope for the best.
So that's the only thing, because I did that with my leopard, my pewter leopard girl. I did that. I started off with my puma male, pairing up with her because I wanted to just. I had my puma was supposed to be a female, And I threw a male in with it, and there was a lot of thumping going on that shouldn't have been going on. So it's like, okay, we're gonna throw you in with that girl and see what goes on. And they locked up. So it's like, okay, you're definitely a male. Worked on pop, and it's like, okay, we got you. You're a male. And then it's like, well, I didn't really want to go that route with my pewter leopard girl. So then that's when I started throwing in the desert ghost male. And since we didn't hit anything that was remotely yellow belly or spark, it's like, okay, at least the desert ghost male got clutch.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, I got a normal out of it, or a normal that's het DG, of course. But with that coming out, that kind of definitely sealed the deal because it would have had to either be yellow belly or spark.
Yeah, that definitely helps out. I honestly did that twice this year because I also threw that DG to my pied girl. He never locked. He was with her for multiple times, no lock. But I also threw my pied yellow belly het clown to that same pied. So either I will hit pieds or I'll hit normals. But I'll immediately know who's the father in that one, though. So that one's a little easier. That's a little easier.
And actually, while we're speaking about pairings, Chris, just so you know, brother, I threw in my because it was actually his time to be thrown in with the female anyway. But I threw my Bumblebee Clown in with my pewter leopard girl actually like midday today, and he didn't waste any time getting locked up.
Oh, nice.
So he's doing his deed right now. So it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's my step towards like on how you're going for the albino Batmans. Since the leopard lesser spot nose was supposed to be a female and it turned out to be a male, it completely crushed my Batman project for like a whole year. So now I'm using the male that I bought to go to what was supposed to be that female, comparing that to get hopefully some het clowns out of leopard, and then I'm going to throw him to the het clowns and work it that way.
Yeah, I've had that happen in the reverse. I bought a snake hoping it was male and turned out to be female. So which never usually happens. People never accidentally send you a female when you're looking for a male. That never usually happens. And the person argued with me too. And I was like, hey, this is a female, just so you know. He was like, no, it's not. I checked it. You're wrong. Because he thought I was still new, which I was new, but I knew how to pop. So that was the thing I was on top of. I learned how to pop. But he was kind of a dick about it. So I was like, well, that's your loss then. I'll just keep this. No worries.
That went in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. I was good with that.
Shoot. Wiz, thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate all the support.
What's up?
All right, let's see here. Okay. Well, we kind of went over that, covered that topic.
I seen somebody put in the chat asking about Tri-Stripe.
Yeah.
Are you working with Tri-Stripe?
I am not. No.
Okay. I know Reggie from Reggie's Urban Jungle has Tri-Stripe. Ron from Main Squeeze has Tri-Stripe. I don't know who else is working with Tri-Stripe that I know, like I've talked to, like, yeah, I got Tri-Stripe. I don't know who else. So those are some leads right there if you're looking for Tri-Stripe. I might get in Tri-Stripe after I do a lot with Genetic Stripe first. I'm going to see how that is. And then might go down a Tri-Stripe route.
See, that Tri-Stripe is one thing I've never really looked at. And I guess I try not to get, I look at what catches my eye, but then I don't dabble into too much other stuff until I want to get a nice solid base.
Understandable.
Nice solid base, then I'll start branching out. Like the pied thing, I was not planning on being in pieds at all. Like I wanted, pieds are beautiful. I like them; they're neat. I had no plans of getting into that project, at least not in the near future. And
understandable.
Here I am.
Here I am in pieds now.
Yeah, here I am with a pair of pieds. All right, what types of racks do you use, Gershon?
So This rack here, homemade DIY plastic shelves that I cut PVC pipes for, and this is actually pegboard. Most people use whiteboard. I decided to go with pegboard because it still breathes, got those holes in it, so it helps with airflow.
That's smart.
It was really smart, and then I realized I'm in Wisconsin. We don't have a problem with humidity. We have the opposite. We need more humidity. So sometimes it's great in the summer, horrible in the winter. You really have to spray down more and be on top of that. But that also makes you pay attention to your animals more. So it could be a good thing. Other than that, I have an ARS rack. As you can see right here, you see the ARS. Those are my two main racks. I do have this boa fowl. I got this when I first started getting into snakes, and I went to a rack system. From going from tanks to a rack system, this was my first one. So I'm gonna keep that just for nostalgia reasons. That's gonna always be here. But my plan was to only have ARS and maybe make my own DIY racks until the snakes could possibly pay for all ARS racks.
Yeah.
But now Pack Pythons, those racks are really nice. I like the interchangeability of the racks with the different levels. So I'm rethinking what racks I might be going with once he gets set off the ground. I might be moving over to those for adults if I see how well adults do in those. But I really like the concept where you can take one tub size, take it out, and expand it to a bigger size, so you don't necessarily have to get a whole new rack. That's why I like this DIY rack, because I can do hatchling tubs and then sub-adult tubs, all on the same racks. It's interchangeable.
See, that is a nice aspect of it. There's Bosa.
What's up,
man? You miss it. You have to go back and watch the beginning. Like, if you don't laugh, like, I suggest you don't be drinking anything, because you're probably gonna laugh hysterically. But definitely make sure you check out the beginning. But I'll say it here. What's up, Keek K? Yeah, Keek K. Did I get it right?
Aaron.
Give me a thumbs
up. Hey, Aaron.
You can't take the easy way out.
Nope, taking the easy way.
Kaiju, 100%. I probably butchered that one up too. Did I say that right?
No, that's actually right. Kaiju. Okay. That's actually right. What's up, Kaiju? How you doing? That's actually right.
We've got live feeding. What's up? We've got Area 51. What is up? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And he says I got it right. I'll probably it's going to stop me. And honestly, I think I'm going to take Gershon's way out of doing it. I just feel bad when I butcher stuff. So what's up, Aaron?
I totally understand.
Ludka, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everybody that's not normally here for tuning in. All the support's appreciated. If you're not already subbed to either myself or Gershon, make sure you hit the subs. Gershon's info is in the description, so make sure to check his stuff out, because he's a great dude. And we've kind of partnered up and he's got a few episodes he's sponsoring here throughout the next couple of months. So keep on the lookout for those episodes. We got David. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. All right, let's see here. Oh, with the racks. That's what you're saying about the pack racks.
Yeah.
GN2, what's up? Supposedly, I forget who told me this, but ARS is coming out with something kind of similar to the pack rack now.
Are they? Oh.
But it's something with the 1065 rack, to where you can change tub sizes on it to go from like the normal, like the 10 series tub, to what would be like an FB5 tub. So like a legit like hatchling tub. And I go like the 10 series tubs, I always think seem like they're more like I don't know. I don't want to say sub-adult, but it's kind of like that middle ground. Like it's a big hatchling tub to all sub-adult.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
But
Oh wow.
okay, yeah, Jeremy and Hollow Snakes from Memories. I think maybe they're the ones that said about it. I forget, but
Yeah, that's going to be an innovator in the industry itself, is being able to have one rack and just you have babies for only so amount of time throughout the year. You produce babies and then you sell them and then they're gone, and then you just have all this rack space. If you could still use that rack instead of just sitting there empty waiting for next year for babies, that's a game changer. That lessens how many racks you need to have in your facility or your basement or wherever your snake room is, and it maximizes that space even more.
it
Um,
does. You're right.
it's
But then
just a
see,
great way.
what would happen with me is though, is I would start maximizing that space, and I'd get hatchlings coming. I'd be like, I'm out of space. What the heck? I didn't think about this.
True, it does. It causes all new problems. You trying not to buy snakes, which we all have a problem with that as is.
uh, it's,
uh,
I'm at least trying to stay to where the snakes pay for more snakes. Like the snakes are hopefully paying for their own stuff. Now, this last investment, they didn't pay. They paid for like $100 of it. The rest
okay.
of it was all
Yep.
out of pocket. But it's just kind of like I couldn't pass the deal off. I mean, I really
Understandable.
could. I hit Phil up. I was like, dude, I was like, this is what's going on. What do you think? And he goes, no, that's a good price. It's like, okay, fine, sold.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm trying to let the animals start paying for themselves. I've already put my investment into it. Now I'm trying to let them pay for that, as that being my investment, and starting to invest more into them. That's the plan now.
Yeah.
Um, they're animals, so you can only do so much. You only can make sure their tubs are good, they're eating right, they got food. Everything else is on them if they breed and produce for you. And then you still gotta hope you hit right odds. Like
Yeah.
we're all gambling every time, hoping we hit the odds.
We really are. I mean, my wife and I were talking about that. I forget if it was today or when. But I told her, I was like, I have all these plans. I was like, but the whole thing's a freaking gamble. I was like, there's no guarantee
Yep.
on it. Just like my the Exantic Clown hats that I have growing up. I mean, I'm hoping I can hit that Exantic Clown next season. I'm hoping that, first of all, at least one female's ready. Hoping out of that one female, I can hit that just one baby. I don't want to be greedy. I just want one. And it could be male or female. I don't care. Okay, Celtic says they're the one. That's right. It was Angie and Jeff on the last line.
Okay.
That's right.
That's super interesting. I mean, I like Freedom Breeder. I like Freedom Breeder's tubs. I like that round water dish. I dislike ARS's because it's kind of sharp. The water dish is sharp.
Oh, okay.
I dislike that. When you're cleaning, you kind of scratch yourself a little bit on it. Not terribly, but I would like it to be rounded like the Freedom Breeders were. But I just like the look of ARS. I like the look of them. And if I'm going to be in a room staring at something, I want something I like to look at. So that's where it lands for me.
Well, that's like, I don't like, don't get me wrong, Freedom Breeder racks are nice. Like you said, I mean, and they have the pull out drawer thing, or the pull out, it's like the drawer thing where you can lay tubs on and stuff like that and work on it. But like, I don't know if I would really ever use it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really like the stainless steel look. Like, to me, like I used to be big into cars and stuff, and like I had polished stainless steel stuff, I had chrome stuff, and it drove me nuts when it would get dirty. If there's a water spot on it, it drove me nuts. It had to go. Like, so I could just imagine if I had these stainless steel racks, I'd probably spend so much time trying to clean these stinking racks. Where the ARS stuff, I mean, they're painted nice. It doesn't give you that industrial look. It kind of gives you like a more homey feel, I guess. At least I think so.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. I understand that.
Steven,
so you wanna answer it first, or you want me? Well, go ahead and read it. Read it for the people.
Quick question for both of you. What criteria do you want to hit before you consider going full time with reptiles, or is that not something you want? Gershon, you're the guest, so I'll let you hit that one first.
Oh, he hit me first. Oh. So, for me, I definitely would like this to be full time, but in a different way. I'm thinking of it more like the way Ozzy has done it, to where the snakes can pay for me to be able to invest in other businesses that make me money, to the point to where those businesses take over my pretty much most of my income becomes from those businesses, to where I can leave my actual regular job and those businesses are the one that pays my income, and then whatever the snakes make on top of that income. I clearly have to be making a roughly 100 to close to 140 to 180,000 a year, I would say, from the snakes and other businesses combined. I would think, just to be able to pay for like insurance for my family, because once you leave a job, you have to start paying for insurance yourself. That's not cheap.
Insurance isn't cheap.
It's not cheap. And I would want to have some kind of cushion to, just in case something happens, like we're dealing with animals. If they choose not to go that 1 year, I want to have enough in savings to where I'll be okay for a year, or okay for 2 years, or have a different stream of income coming in where it's not just focused on the animals, making sure they breed and produce for me. I want to have multiple streams of income. Like I said, multiple streams of income to be able to have this be full time, or be able to take off in my regular job. That is my goal. That's what I'm trying to work towards. So I'm trying to learn properties and how that works. And I know there's a word, and I can't think of it. What's the word for owning properties? Isn't it
real estate?
Real estate. There we go. I'm trying to learn that. Also trying to learn stocks and how that works, and investments where you put your money in and that makes money. I'm trying to learn that instead of me having to physically do stuff. I'm trying to make my money make money. That's the goal down the road. That's how I feel.
See, I want this to eventually be the full-time thing. Now, my plan is I'd like it to happen in 5 years, but that in reality, that's probably not going to happen. I would say 8 to 10 is more a realistic goal for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure I have the projects going here. I want to make sure that the ball pythons are definitely, doing good. I want to make sure the carpet pythons are, Grant, what I'm planning on doing with carpet pythons really isn't, I don't want to say a big money maker, but I just wanted to work with carpet pythons because I just think they're beautiful. That's really all it was. But I want to make sure that they're, I got a couple carpet projects going. Let the snake start getting a fund built up, and make sure that everything's supporting itself, and that it gets to the point where it can support me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same token, the reason I'd be working the other job for so long is I want to make sure everything is basically gone, paid off, all debt, just gone. So that way, like you said, if there's a rough year where, X amount of girls don't go, or your big money-making stuff just doesn't go, or, just whatever, market crashes, at least then you're kind of set up to where you can ride it out a little bit. Like the stocks thing and all that stuff, that's way above my head. I would actually have to go to Spath here because he works for a bank. So he's kind of my financial advisor at points in time. But, it's something where I've thought it through to an extent, but as it starts becoming more of a likeliness that it's going to happen is when I'm going to start developing the actual plan to implement it properly, and on learning. And, hopefully by then I'll know exactly how I need to do it properly.
Yeah, trust me, I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning.
Because my original plan was, and this didn't go over good. Hopefully my wife isn't watching this. Originally, I had told her, that, I'll work like 10 more years. And by then our daughter or our kids will be in school, and she doesn't have to stay at home and watch the kids anymore. So she could go to work and I'll stay at home and I'll just do the snake stuff. I thought someone's got to get insurance for it.
Yeah.
And
True.
you can imagine that did not go over very well.
I can understand that. I would love to not make enough money so my wife didn't have to go to work.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she would want to do that. She likes to work. She wants to work. I don't know if she wants to be at home per se. So that's where our conundrum comes in. Even if I ever did make enough money, she still would be like, all right, that's cool. I got to go clock in at 7. So you do what you got to do. Which I love about her, but I would like to just have her be able to stay at home. Don't worry about nothing. You're good.
And it's nice that my wife, raises our daughter, and you don't have someone else doing it. She's raised how we want her to be raised and all that stuff. But at the same token, it's a bad thing because if my wife goes and does something and it's just me and my little girl, then she gets all wound up because mommy left her and abandoned her. It just causes a whole nother set of issues. But no, we got a couple of other phases. We got F&A balls that have hopped in here. Thanks for tuning in. Got my buddy Spath. Thanks for tuning in too. Appreciate all the support. I haven't seen you in the chat either for a while.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Did you see anybody else pop in that I didn't say hi to?
Not that I see.
If anybody in the chat, if you guys have questions for Gershon or myself, feel free to put them in there, and hopefully one of us catches it.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, trying to diversify. That's the plan.
Or we got Abe's Exotic Reptiles. Thanks for tuning in, Abe. Appreciate
this. Hey, Abe, how you doing? I can say I brought Abe. I can say I brought Abe.
I've never seen Abe in the chat, so you had to bring Abe. But
I can say I brought Abe.
Hit that sub button, brother, because I appreciate all the support.
I got to get a sugar mama too. That's another plan.
All right. Well, we kind of hit this topic too, but what other species do you want to work with, like in the future, like breeding wise, or even just as a pet, but more breeding wise? Like, what other species would you like to get into the works of GP Snakes?
That's actually one of the reasons why I called it GP Snakes, because I was gonna be breeding multiple different snakes. That was my thought process at first. So like I said, I would like to go breed green tree pythons and emerald tree boas at one point, at least dabble in it and try it. I never really thought about any other reptiles per se, but after talking to QT on my live about the bearded dragons and the difference in them and the way they breed them, I was kind of interested in learning a little bit more about them. But I hear they're not to say easy to breed, but they're not. You have to be on top of them more than ball pythons, which actually I hear most lizards you have to be more on top of. As much as I like monitors and think they're cool, and would like to have one day, I think that might be too much for me because monitors you can't really take vacations on. You have to be there. So that might not be the animal for me. I might have to have a friend that has one and I go to his house and enjoy it and then leave.
The monitor thing, like, I forget who I saw has one on. I follow him on Instagram, but I guess it'd be a green tree monitor because the thing's like a lime green. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And I've never done any research on them, but it's like, and all monitors seem like they get like a base of like 6 foot, and that's just a big lizard. Like, I don't think I want a lizard that big.
Yeah,
but they are so cool to see, so stinking cool to see.
Yeah, I used to have iguanas, and I really dig them. They were cool to hang out with, cool to just sit there with. I had them to where they were comfortable just hanging out with me. they're a really interesting animal to have, but they do get cancer. Like two of mine got cancer, which
Oh wow.
sucks. Yeah, they're it's the bone issue with certain they need certain light and calcium to work with their bones, but they easily get cancer. So I had to deal with that 2 times. So I don't know, that could be devastating as well.
Is it something similar like that metabolic bone disease or whatever it
I
is?
believe so. I
Okay.
believe so.
So my son had a leopard gecko that got that, and I mean, it just like out of the blue, just like knocked this thing down. It's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
It was sad. Like I felt terror. Like it's like, what the heck? But all right, let's see here. Okay. Is there any genes on your radar that you want to add soon in the near future? Genes you're kind of waiting to see how the projects play out?
I definitely want to. I always say it wrong. Is it? It's not moonshine because I said that before and people made fun of me. Moonshine. What's the one with the spots that it's a recessive?
Oh, monsoon.
Monsoon. So monsoon, I definitely want to work with down the line. I want to work with acid as well because I seen. I think it was Tom Harbo. I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Harden. He's the Monarch guy. He made the Monarch.
Okay.
Might have not made, but he's made it more popular. Is where I got my Het Monarch from, which I should know his name, but I'm blanking right now. He produced a clown black pewter, I think that's acid, and it looks phenomenal.
Oh, I bet.
And the first thing I thought about is putting albino into it. So I want to see that in albino and see how it reacts. So acid, I definitely want to work with down the road. I'm interested in seeing the voodoo gene that Bob Balls is working with.
See, I just saw that here. Forget whose channel put that up, and I saw a picture or video of it or pictures, and it's like, wow, that's actually like it did some crazy things.
I'm gonna make. Apparently, I have to make a new morph and call it Moonshine. So that is gonna be in the works. I knew people were gonna laugh at me about it, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna turn it into a positive down the road eventually.
But think of the possibilities then. Then you can start like naming snakes, different types of moonshine. You can have an apple pie.
Definitely.
That's dude. You're onto something there. You're onto it.
So nobody steal my name. Nobody steal it.
You heard it here first. It is Gershon.
Oh yeah, I seen the DG. The DG. It looked phenomenal. He showed it off. I seen the Instagram pic of it.
Maybe that's
it looked phenomenal. Like I'm really interested in the voodoo because I know it's a dark gene, so it definitely will work with albino. Look good in albino. And the possibilities of what you can do with that is wide open right now. Next season, I'm putting an acid black pastel to an albino. So I will be following you soon to see how that works out. Because that is also
on the wait list.
It's the ingredient I'm going to have to get eventually. Because both those ingredients, acid and black pastel, I'm definitely trying to get black pastel into my albino clown project. Definitely.
Well, I know, like with the acid has my attention big time, and it was just because I saw a picture of a leopard, it's a bumblebee leopard acid, and this thing, it looked almost like a monsoon the way it was spotted. I mean, it looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought was throw the Xanthic into it, and you're gonna have something that looks like basically like a snow leopard type of deal. And I was like, that thing's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
So, shortly after that is when Jeff and Angie, threw out that they bought an acid, it's like a blade acid something combo. and I sent them a thing. I was like, if you guys make a male pastel acid, I want on the list, please.
Rob just made a very good suggestion. Make it albino. Yeah, man, that might be the way to go. That might be the way. Can you do that?
What about a monsoon sunset?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe that could be the
I guess
apple
you can
pie.
do that because that's what pied lavender albino is. They call it dreamsicle. So technically, you can rename a double recessive. So
Yeah.
okay, that might be the way to go. I got to try to get there before anybody else, which probably won't happen. Billy's got a lot of monsoon. I mean, he's got a lot of. I don't think I'm gonna get there before Bill. Well, Billy, I don't think he works with albino much, so there's still a chance.
Well, you know what? On May 1st, if you tune in, you can ask him here.
Oh, is he coming on?
May 1st, Billy is going to be on this show. Oh,
nice.
And all right. I probably should open my mouth because it's probably going to jinx it. All right, so I've gotten this thought where I want to try to get one of the big breeders that everybody knows about and like looks up to, that type of deal. Try to get one a month on. So I sent a message to Ozzy and I sent a message to Justin, and I just gave him a nice little spiel and told him, I would like to have one of you guys come on for the month of June. The calendar is empty. You pick a Sunday that works, and thank you. And Oz just hasn't gotten back to me yet. Ozzy said, "Can we do July?" So I'm waiting on Ozzy to pick a date. So hopefully in July we'll have Ozzy on here too.
Okay.
Which I think is going to be awesome.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been hesitant to reach out to bigger YouTubers. I plan to. It's my own mental thing. Like, oh, they probably won't know who I am, and I don't want to bother them. I'm trying to get over that. Many people tell me stop doubting yourself. You're good. You do good work. Your show is good. You can go reach for other bigger people. Definitely do it. So I plan to ask them eventually. I got to build up the nerve.
Dude, even when I asked Billy, I expected sorry, dude, I don't really have the time. I mean, even though I'm on his Patreon and stuff, but I just kind of expected, because Billy's busy. I get it. And I know Ozzy's busy and Justin's busy. And I even, mentioned that, I know you guys are busy. It'd be great if, you could take a Sunday out and do it. But if not, I totally understand. So hopefully everything works out and it happens, because it's going to be a neat touch. Add one big breeder, and then I'm going to try to get some local people that local to me, and keep throwing in smaller breeders or smaller YouTube channels into it, and just kind of, spice things up a little bit, keep things a little bit different. So I thought it was a neat. Hopefully everything works out. I know at some point I'm going to run out of people, but hey,
that's why I have mine set up the way I do, is to get smaller channels and bigger channels. So I try to every other week I switch from somebody over 1,000 then somebody under 1,000, just to not only shine a light on somebody new that's trying to get in, but also ask the people over 1,000 how they feel they got there, to maybe give some tips or something like that. That's why I kind of reframe my channel, my lives, to be that. Try to be not only helpful within the community, but keep me being able to bring on different people and happen to make me go out and look for people.
Yeah. No, that's one thing I'd like to do, but I need all the tips I can on how to get up to that. Not that I really care about being monetized, but it's just a goal. I want to hit that 1,000 sub mark.
Well, if you're trying to do this for full time, you got to care about that now. That's another source of revenue right there.
Well, it is revenue. It is. But it's more I started this more just to be document my journey.
True.
And people to see, starting because I started out as a nobody. I think I still am a nobody, but 500 as of today, last I saw, 560 people thought that at least something that came out of my mouth impressed them, maybe ever so slightly. But I mean, I think it's just a great tool. Plus, it's good record keeping. If someone has questions about a clutch, you can just send them the video and be like, "Here you go. This everything on that clutch. This your baby's in it. Whatever. It's got a lot of perks to it."
Yep. Side note, Leviathan, which I can't say your name right, I always mess it up. You're already on the list, so expect a message eventually. I have a list of people that I plan to ask because I'm usually combing YouTube, looking for channels, watching videos, seeing if I try to bring people on that either I like or I enjoy their content or I feel their content needs to be seen more. So I'm always going through YouTube, looking at people, making lists like, okay, I'm gonna ask you eventually. You're on the list. You guys are on the list, so be prepared when I ask you. I'm already booked up to what month is this? April, May. What's after May? I don't know my months, as June. You guys can see. June. So I'm halfway through June, but I wanted to get halfway through April before I start asking people again because I didn't want to ask too far down the road. So people start looking for asks. They're coming eventually. Phil, you need to make some more videos so you can get asked too.
See, that's kind of where I have my list of people that I wanted to I have my list of people I wanted to get on the show. And then I have my list of people that I'm strategically waiting for certain things to pop up. And Steven and Courtney, you guys are one of them. To where I wanted to wait till they start getting some clutches pop, like them just throwing up some videos that they have clutches dropping or clutches hatching. And then that's when I was going to send the thing, hey, you guys want to be on the show so you can show off some awesome eye candy.
Yep.
So you guys were already on the list. Excuse me. But you guys were one of the strategic asks on my end.
Creative Genetics. You're talking about starting a channel. I actually have a series where I talk to someone about to start a channel. So hit me up on Instagram. We can talk and we can work something out. Maybe get you a guest on that. Let me know. Because I'm all about people starting YouTubes as well. That's another thing I try to do is get people to start YouTubes, documenting, talking about reptiles to make it more mainstream, to make it not such a over there type of thing. I'm trying to make reptiles just like cats and dogs, to where it's a normal thing and it's not abnormal for people to have them like people feel that way. I feel the more we make our hobby mainstream, the more people we have to help fight to keep our hobby.
Yep, I agree. And plus that series is next up, correct?
Yep, next up. Yep.
Because I actually met two people at the breakfast yesterday that they were talking about starting a YouTube, but they're kind of leery on it. And you were the first one that I thought of, Gershon. So I'm actually going to get in touch with them here soon. And, just throw your name to them. Be like, hey, if you guys really are going to, if you want to start it or think about starting it, contact this man and he'll get you set up and get you kind of cruising on a less bumpy trail.
I appreciate that.
Startup is rough. I mean,
it is. It's very disheartening to put out a video and no one watches that first video. It very much hurts and it takes away a lot of that enjoyment you had about making that video.
Yep.
So me doing this hopefully can get people to feel a little more easy about putting that first video out and doing YouTube. It's already hard enough to get over your own issues about being on camera or talking. I hate the sound of my voice. 100%. Trust me, you're not alone. I'm nervous every time I shoot a video. I'm nervous every time I do a live.
Yep.
It never goes away. It just comes down a little bit.
That's why I always have my blue cup with me. It takes the edge off of everything, brother. It takes the edge completely off.
So never think you're the only one that feels that way. A lot of people feel that way. We just kind of get used to feeling that way. But if my next up series can help people do a YouTube, start a YouTube, show their animals, I feel I'm helping the community in that way, and hopefully I can help people keep going. That's my way to putting that positive help out in the community, I feel.
No, and you do a great job with that, dude. I actually wish, because you just started Next Up not that long ago, like what, maybe a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, I started about 3 months ago.
Okay.
Almost, yeah, at the beginning of this year, actually, yeah.
See, it hasn't been long.
No.
Because I watched your first episode of that, and I thought, it's like darn it, why couldn't he have started that, like, back when I first started? Because
so many people have asked me that too.
It's a great idea. It's like I'm surprised no one else has really thought of it. But like, I think it takes a certain kind of person that cares like you do to actually want to do it. And you're that person. I mean, you don't mind putting the time and helping others, which is great.
I try. I mean, I figured me helping you might help make me you help someone else, and then they help someone else, and you never know how far that can go. I try to put good karma, good positive energy out there, and hopefully it helps me down the road sometime. But even if it doesn't, it might help somebody else, and you never know where that will go in the world.
Yeah.
Just saying hi to somebody might stop somebody else from doing something terrible that week. So I try to put that positivity out there.
Even just a smile. Because think about how many times you go walking, like, just out in public, and everybody's looking at their phone. Like, if you could just catch that one person and give them a smile, that might mean the world to that one person having the most terrible day of their life.
Very true. Very true. I got you, Rob.
Mark says he's been thinking about starting a live, Mark, I think that'd be a great thing.
Yeah.
And then my buddy 2 says you seem like a solid dude.
Thank you. I try to be me all the time. Just be who I am. It's sometimes hard because you try to have to not look at the negative stuff, because there's so much negative out there, and try to focus on positive things and being positive. I have my days where I stopped. I didn't want to do ball pythons at times. There's times I'm like, why am I doing this? I need to stop. But then you clean an animal that you produced and you see it and you're like, okay, I see why I'm here. I see why I'm here. Because I actually like this. That's why I'm doing this.
I kind of felt bad when Chris was over here. Like, him and his wife and their little boy came over, and his wife and son were upstairs with my wife and daughter, and we were down here in the snake room. And originally, he came to do me the big solid of ultrasounding my girls, and like I just got caught into this loophole or this wormhole of, like, I'm pulling out all sorts of drawers, like, showing everything in all the tubs. It's just like, I was just so excited to show someone that shares the same passion as me, because I really don't get many people here at the house that are as passionate about reptiles as what everybody that's here is. So Chris, I'm sorry if you did want to see everything, but I could not help myself, brother.
I mean, that's what happens when we get somebody that wants to talk about the passion we have for anything. You go crazy. You tell them everything.
You do. Oh, and then what was even worse is we got done everything. We went upstairs, and my daughter, like, if Daddy goes to the snake room, she has to come too. Like, apparently her feelings were massively hurt that she didn't get to come down to the snake room then. So needless to say, we no sooner got upstairs, and we ended up having to come back downstairs because my daughter was starting to get ready to throw a fit again about not being able to see the snakes. So we brought Chris's little boy down, and we brought my daughter down, and just pulling open tubs and showing the kids. And Chris's little boy really loved my one carpet python. Like, he's absolutely obsessed with her.
Okay. So, Tradesman, if you swear, that's your channel. Do that. Like MJ, he swears on his stuff.
Billy does.
Billy does. Just be who you are. That's one of the main things I can say. If you're gonna start a channel, just be who you are in the beginning. Just be who you are, 100%. You'll find the people that like you. You'll find the people that are entertained by you. Don't try to put on a facade or be a certain type of person. Be who you are 100%. That way it doesn't feel like you're fake.
Yeah.
I realized that really quickly. Like I can't just turn it on for a camera. I gotta just be me. So some videos I'm not as energetic, I'm not as happy. In some videos I'm messing up a lot. Some videos I'm talking nerd stuff because I'm a big comic book nerd and love superheroes. I just have to let myself be who I am.
Yep.
So you know who I am, and that's who you like. You know, you don't like the idea of a guy that I made up. You just like me.
Well, exactly, and that's like the biggest thing about YouTube or anything is if you put on an act, at some point, you're going to get found out. Someone's going to see it. People are going to end up meeting you, and they're going to realize that dude's not the guy that he pretends to be on, YouTube. Now, granted, on here, I do try my best not to let it rip.
I try not to cuss as much. Yes, I don't cuss a lot, but I do try to bring it down because I want kids to watch, and parents are not going to let kids watch if you're just throwing out a lot of F-bombs here and there. So I want to be family friendly, but I still want to be me. So
exactly.
Yeah, I slip up here and there, throw a bad word here and there, but I don't. It's not like a sailor.
Like if you saw me at work, or if you heard me at work, and then you heard me on here, you would think, "Wow, he's really holding himself." I mean, my language does flip flop a little bit between at work. At home, it's a little bad, but it's not terrible. But then on here, it's like completely like cleaned up about as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. Once I had my kids too, I started to pay attention to the way I talked more. So kids have definitely helped that too. So have some kids that'll help your potty mouth.
Bad advice, Chris.
I mean, if you're gonna have kids, you're probably gonna stop breeding ball pythons for a little bit because kids are expensive. But once you get into that sweet spot again.
Steve and Courtney, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys hopping on tonight. It's great seeing you. And get ready for Gershon and myself to hit you up to be on both of our lives at some point in the future.
Thanks, guys.
Spath says having kids equals less of a potty mouth and sleep.
Very true. You learn to go off 2 to 3 hours of sleep.
Well, I don't think I've ever cursed in any of my videos, but I do curse in real life. I don't even know if I've really heard you curse too. I mean, you're kind of mellow like all the way around. But anyway, all right. Let's see here. Let's get back on the slight topic. All right. So, we kind of were on this, but social media, like, what's your tips? Or like, how do you suggest people go about growing their channel, growing their Instagram, stuff like that?
Okay, so I am by no means an expert on Instagram. I would say I'm really horrible at it. My only trick is I just put up a picture a day. I literally did that for almost 2 years straight. I just put up a picture a day on Instagram. Every so often I would look at other people's hashtags and put them in there. Definitely use hashtags that apparently they're very important. Yeah. I'm learning that as I go along.
And the order is important too. I found out.
Oh, that's a whole new thing. I didn't know that. The order is important.
Yes. Like, all right. Now I forget who told me this, but I think it came from Stephen and Courtney was the original source of it. Like, you want to start out as specific of a hashtag. Like, say if you put a picture of just, let's say, an albino clown, you put your hashtag albino clown ball python, and then you start branching it out into a more broader spectrum. Because as long as your picture does good, and let's say like the albino clown hashtag, it'll moves up to say the next, albino hashtag, and then the clown, and then if you have
Oh
like
wow.
hashtag ball pythons, it starts bumping it up, and as long as it keeps doing well, as it progresses, it keeps getting thrown out into the rhythm. That's how
So,
I understood it. So
oh God. So whatever I was just gonna say, let that go because I don't know what I'm talking about. I just learned I need to start putting my stuff in order, which I did not know. I do literally every hashtag of mine starts with GP Snakes. Everyone is GP Snakes first, and then ball python snakes. It's like that. I never even thought of that. That's how you had to do it. Oh wow.
that's how it was explained to me. Actually,
Okay.
I think it came from Stephen and Courtney, but I think Kai brought it up on when he was on here. I think he was the one that had emphasized the order of what you gotta put it in, going from specific to broad. If I remember,
So I'm gonna have to try that out. I'm gonna have to try that out.
because I did start. Let me see, because I did start doing that, and I'm pretty sure.
Man, you have to switch it every time. Jeez.
Because I
So
do believe I started getting more likes on, yeah. Yeah, I started getting more likes on pictures. Granted, obviously my followings increased as well since some of the stuff, but the rate at which the likes come in has increased
okay, I
since
might
I've
have to
paid
do
attention
that.
to the order.
I might have to do that a couple of times to see the difference in the likes there. But for me, like I would post a picture a day, and I don't know what's the app called, but I linked my Facebook and my Instagram together. So when I posted stuff on Facebook, it would automatically go to Instagram. And there's a page manager on Facebook where it lets you schedule when you want posts to come out.
Oh,
So in like on Mondays, I would schedule out what I wanted to be posted throughout the week. So I didn't have to necessarily do it every day. It would already be scheduled. So that eliminated me having to do it every day. It'd be just scheduled.
okay,
That's a tip there. Do that. Schedule your post out if you can. That definitely helps, saves time, keeps you on track. Definitely helps. And I guess commenting on other people's posts, I
yes.
don't do it as much as I would like to because I'm usually busy trying to clean something or fix something or make sure I pick up a kid. So commenting and liking other people's posts helps you too,
Yep.
but you have to be careful. You can't like too many posts or they'll put you in Instagram jail. I have a couple friends, they like too many pictures in one day and they got put in jail. Yeah, which is I thought the whole point was to like pictures, and they put them in jail.
It just doesn't make sense.
No sense at all.
You have
No
someone
sense
being
at all.
nice and supportive. We're gonna throw your rear end in jail, and you
Yeah,
can sit there for a couple of days.
push it too many times, you go in jail. That's what I would say do for Instagram. And if you have any tips, I don't even do reels really. I every so often I'll put a video up here and there. I don't do reels. I told myself I was gonna try to do more reels, but then I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't do it. So maybe I'll try to do it. Maybe another month I'll try to do it again. Try to do more reels. But I hear that helps get your following up and get people to your channel.
Yeah.
For TikTok, I don't understand how to do anything on TikTok. I basically every so often I'll put a video up on TikTok. For some reason, want to do good, and I'll get a whole bunch of people following me out of nowhere. Don't understand it. I'm trying to figure it out, but I might just it might be what it is on TikTok. For YouTube, this is what I tell everybody. So here's a tip for people about to start a channel. This is my tip. I'm not saying this the way to go. You can pick it, take it if you want. I would do your first 3 videos depending on what you're doing. If you're a breeder, if you're an enthusiast. So if you're a breeder, your first videos, show off your males. Show all your males off in your first video. That's your first video. Second video, show your females off. And then your third video, show your pairings that you plan to do. That's 3 videos right there. Release those videos every other week. So now you have a bank of videos. As you get more comfortable making videos, you can go from every other week to every week putting out a video. If you get super comfortable, every 2 days, put 2 videos out a week. If you get super comfortable. But I suggest, if you're gonna do YouTube and you really want to do it, consistency is key. If you plan to do a video on Monday, try to make sure you do a video every Monday or every other Monday. Try to do it around the same time, because I realize people, as human beings, we like consistency. We like something we can plan on. So just like people used to sit around the table to watch a show at a certain time, if you're consistent and you have a set time that you put your videos out every time, people will tune in at that time. And you'll start to slowly build an audience. And it's sometimes it's a slow grind. Sometimes you have some really entertaining stuff that people just flock to. Yep. It's going to come in waves, though. It's not going to be just hot off the press. You're blowing up 1,000 views every video. No. It is a grind. It's something you get good at. You got to have patience with. You got to take your time with. You got to learn your own niche within the reptile community. You have to find your own niche within that niche. And then you also have to be entertaining to people to an extent. Don't think you have to be jokey. You just have to be entertaining in your own way. People take being entertaining being a certain person. The thing you have to realize, people find different things entertaining. Yep. You can just be entertaining by the way you talk on your videos. I have a few people that only show their snakes. They're never on camera. You could go that route. You 100% could just show snakes all the time. If you don't want to be on camera, that's the way to go. If you're okay with it, get on camera. Show that personality off. Let people get to know you.
Exactly.
I believe people like my snakes and like the babies I make and what I'm doing. But I think there's that bigger portion that just like me as a person and my personality and want to see me, want to support me doing what I love to do. So I think that's a big thing as well.
It is. I agree completely. Now with YouTube, like, what's your thought with the shorts? Do you think the shorts make a difference? Because I noticed, like, normally I drop a video on Wednesday. I have the live here on Sunday. And I try to put out one short somewhere throughout the week. And I noticed there was like a couple weeks, I just didn't really have anything I thought was worthy of making a short. And it seemed like my sub count just stopped moving at that time. So I don't know if shorts are now being thrown in. Like if you do shorts from, on a regular basis and all of a sudden you stop, I don't know if that's penalizing you now in the algorithm. Because like I said, and because after I went and started doing shorts again, or trying, I don't think I did one this week. So I'm probably going to get penalized.
See, consistency, people, consistent.
But the other week when I did do one, my sub count went back to acting normal again.
Okay.
So was it coincidence? Was it, I'm curious as to what your thoughts are, if the shorts have an impact on it as well.
Okay. So for me, I've done 5 shorts in my YouTube career. So I have no idea how shorts work. Do they help? Do they hinder? No idea. The one thing I know about shorts is they don't count to your watch hours. Yep. That's the only thing I know about shorts. I have 5 shorts. One of them did really well. I got like 500 people watch the short. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I don't know if that got me more subscribers. I have no intel on that.
Oh, it should tell you on your if you have the YouTube app.
Oh, I'm still learning how to read my analytics as well.
Oh,
So,
I had, I think it was my first. I had two shorts that I had one went freaking viral in like a day. Like I got in one
nice.
day, my one short, it was just me showing off my pastel yellow belly hatchling. It, it was out of the egg, it was in its own tub and stuff. But I showed it off and it got like 6,000 views in 24 hours. And I think it got me like 20 subs.
Mm.
And then after that, I had, and my OD Bumblebee got me 3,000. But that was like it wasn't like in a short time period that it did that. It was like a consistent, it was just getting views forever. It seemed just like at a steady rate, but it didn't
Okay.
get me a big sub count jump on it. So, but then after that, after that, I have not had a short that actually did really good compared to those.
Mm. Yeah, shorts are a mystery to me. Shorts are like TikTok. I'm only there wasting time, honestly. I do more watching TikToks than making them, to be honest with you. There's so many funny people on TikTok.
I'm going to be honest, I've never watched TikTok in my life.
Oh, don't start. It's addictive.
For anybody that cares, though, my son started a Warfels More TikTok for us. So if you guys want to find us on TikTok, we have one. That's his thing to take. It's his. He's in charge of it. So he doesn't have any content up on it yet that I'm aware of. I haven't seen him down here in the snake room while I was down here doing anything. So if you want to follow it, I don't know what you do to TikTok, but whatever you do to TikTok, if you want to go find it, awesome. Hopefully he starts handling that and doing something with it like he had sounded like he wanted to. But that will probably be a lot of stuff that, if you're communicating, it'll probably be a lot of him. He'll probably come to me to respond to it. One of those things. It's like, why am I like what? Like, why are you in charge of this? Why am I? I got enough going on with YouTube and Instagram and all that.
Yeah.
See, I don't need TikTok to be another thing on top of it. So he wanted to head it up. So all right, Rob and Aaron said that they're following me. On TikTok,
Phil, there you go. Rob gave you an idea for a video right there. Explain Odium. There you go, Phil. That's a video in itself.
I was gonna say, and Phil, if you don't want to do it on your thing, next time when we're at the reptile show, we could cover that on here too if you want. Because
we're trying to get Phil to make more videos. that's the goal, is to make Phil make more videos. He has amazing stuff he's making.
He does. He explained the Odium thing to me, and like he had always told me, you have to see it to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So once he showed it to me, like every combo he had, like it just jumped out at you. But until you knew what to look for, you really didn't see it. You overlooked it. But after he explained what was going on with it, it's like, oh my God, it's like this is an amazing gene. So that's another one I gotta add now too, thanks to Phil. But yeah, I forget what else I was gonna say.
There's so many things.
Yeah, it's something with social media.
The main key is consistency, and don't necessarily put yourself only in one place. Like I'm on multiple different social media things. I just got on Discord, still learning that. I'm old. I don't understand that. I'm trying to learn how that works, but you never know where people might find you. So put yourself in places where you think people might find you, and even put yourself in places you don't think people will find you. That way you still have a chance to be seen.
And the other thing is too, I think is like a big thing that helped me is jump into the lives. Like jump into the chats, and talk with everybody. I think that's a big thing that helped me as well, with a bunch of, just getting people to know me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great tip. Yeah. I mean, you got to be involved in the community you want to be involved in. So You gotta talk.
All right, let's see here. All right. I know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. What's your favorite gene to work with, Gershon? And I know what you're gonna say, but just go say it.
So, are we asking for favorite recessive or favorite codom?
Let's go with one of each. I won't make you pick. Let's go. I'll make it easy. Let's go one of each because, I think I can guess both of them, but
yeah, I mean, if you know me, Inchy is my favorite codom to work with. I just love it. I fell in love with it for so long when I first saw it. The Inchy, the super Inchy, the things it does, it just has this weird hold on me that I can't get away from. I want to put it in everything I produce, every recessive, everywhere. I love the way it works with different things. Pies, it brings out pattern more. It shows itself. Albino, it makes it pop. Lavender albino, it does a starburst effect to it. That's beautiful. Clown, it looks amazing in clown. Reduce and brings out that orange. Even Desert Ghost, it just looks phenomenal in it. So Inchy is 100% my favorite codom to work with. Will always work with it. And right now, it's between albino and clown. Albino is always going to be that favorite love there, but I really, really like working with clown with different things. Okay. So if I had to pick between the two, albino edges out a little bit just because I am fascinated to take it in different directions in the future, especially since everybody's not working with albino as much and people think it's kind of a lost gene, a left gene out there. I want to keep it in the mainstream and people still excited about it. So I'm excited to keep working with it.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, so many people are running towards the new things. And I feel like, like you said, the more original stuff, it's going to get left in the dust. But if you keep working with it and you start adding these other new things into that project, because eventually I think I'm a firm believer everything comes back around to where it started. I mean, look at fashion nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, things that were popular like before my time even are now, back to being popular again.
Very true.
Talking this much.
Very true. You can even think of it as Black Pastel was a gene that was going out. It was 100% a gene going out, and then Justin did something with it and made it as popular as it was before it even hit before people knew about Black Pastel. Really made it just as popular as it is now. He did that with Spot Nose as well. Spot Nose was a dying gene as well. So if you're working with a gene and you don't see anybody else working with it, keep working with it. You never know what you might hit. You might find a morph that works with it in a way no one thought possible and bring something new to the table and just excite that gene all over again. 100%.
As you think about it, I mean, not one gene works the same with another. They all interact different. I mean, it's almost like chemistry. I mean, I suck at science, but basically chemistry. I mean, it just might take that one gene to tap into the potential of the other gene to just cause something just to blow up and create some really goofy pattern snake.
Very true.
All right, let's do. How do you keep track of like your records for your snakes and stuff, like all your record keeping?
So I use what is it called? Reptile Scan. I don't know if you see it. Reptile Scan.
Oh, okay.
So I really like it. It lets me keep track of poops, sheds, clutches, how many feeds. It does it by like rack. You can do it by different racks. It lets me keep track of if an animal dies, if an animal gets sold. It also has a marketplace on there. It's not that great though. I don't use it for that. The marketplace is very dead. But you could put animals up for sale there. Usually no one's there. I got one message out of the maybe 10 animals I put on there in the last 5 years, but that's there. But I really like it. It has that picture bar scan thing. You can put like
Okay,
labels on there. It
the
has
QR
that.
code thing. That's what
Yeah,
that
the
was gonna be
QR
my
code.
thing is how's it
Yep.
compared to like it almost sounds like and now do you have to pay for this or is it a free thing?
You do. I paid $25 one time, and
Oh,
I
okay.
have the app. I don't know if they've gone to a subscription model or if they're still just a one-time pay thing. They don't update the app as frequently since they're not a subscription model as of right now that I know of. But it allows you to do different prey items from rats, mice, gerbils. I think they have pigs on there. I think they have different reptiles you have on there too.
Okay.
Like reticulated pythons, maybe some lizard stuff too. Um, I like it, and it does what I need for ball pythons. It allows me to see. You're just being. Look, Phil, I get it. You made a lavender albino clown, and it's beautiful. And I'm gonna come to your house and take it one day because it's so beautiful. But you don't have to keep bringing it up. You know I love you, Phil. It's an amazing animal, and I can't wait till you put Inchy in it because you know that's my goal too. But, but yeah, like I said, reptile scan, I like it. It works where I want it to work. It hasn't crashed on me or anything like that.
Okay.
It's kept my records, and I can still back up my records. I can still email them to myself too. So as of right now, that's what I'm sticking with. Before that, I was just using like the ink pad on your iPhone or whatever app you. So I would just type it in there that way. So that's what I like. I like it. It works. I recommend it if you're thinking about one. I actually have a video on my channel, a little review I did of it. So you go definitely check that out. It's old, but I think it's still got some good information in it.
I was gonna say because like I'm still using index cards, so at some point I know I'm gonna end up using an app of some sort. Now whether it be
Mm-hmm.
like the reptile scan, I know I was thinking more about husbandry, husbandry pro, but that's because I'm on Billy's Patreon. So if I bump up like one more tier, I think I start getting like a discount on it. Now,
Okay.
I don't know how much of the discount it is. I also don't know how much it costs a year. I think Jeremy and Holly have it. Actually, I'm pretty sure they have it. So they can tell me.
Okay.
Jeremy Holly, if you guys are still here, how much is Husbandry Pro a month? But I know it is like his monthly subscription thing, but I mean it does a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And the only thing is, like I watch, when you watch Billy stuff and he's scanning the thing, it's like, would it, like, sometimes I wonder, is it easier just to not have an index card?
So the
Like,
thing I learned with the QR codes, they don't suck, but it's a lot quicker to just to punch stuff in.
Okay.
I literally just click that animal and then punch in what I need to do instead of scanning it. Because sometimes you gotta hold your phone just right for it to hit the QR code. I just punch it in. To be honest, so I don't even use the QR code. I use these. So I use these little clips with that either the animal's name. You probably can see. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
The animal's name. And I have color coordinated blue for boys, purple, pink for girls. I use that, and I have red ones for when there's a live animal in there they're eating. So I make sure I check that to make sure it don't stay there overnight. I have blue ones to let me know that animal's in shed. So dark blue is for shed. I'm gonna implement the orange ones I have to say that animal's breeding. But I'm also going to write it down somewhere in my room where I keep an extra phone that has reptile scan on it in the room. So if I ever have my wife help me out, which she never does, the snake thing is all mine. She said she's not helping. But if worst case scenario, something comes up and I'm like, babe, go check this or go do this, she has a list of what to do and who goes where and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Jeremy and Holly said it's $8 a month, so that's not too bad, I guess.
Oh, that's not
That's,
too
that's
bad.
with the discount though.
That's with the
I think-
discount. Okay.
Yeah, but there are, I think, depending what tier you're at, because Billy has so many different tiers.
Yeah.
Kind of so you get different perks at different tiers.
Yep.
I think that they're kind of towards the top tiers, if I remember correctly. I'm kind of like in the middle ground. I didn't want to spend too much on it, so I wanted to make sure I was going to be using what I was, getting.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I realize it's well worth it, now I just need to. I'm waiting to make the right jump to jump up another tier or two on it.
Gotcha.
PJ says he has Husbandry Pro, but he likes his Excel that he made himself. I just track feeding sheds on one sheet, then my pairings. Okay.
Yeah, I would do that, but I'm not good at making those. Like I've heard so many people tell me just like, oh, just use Excel. You can do this. I was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not my forte. So I'm just leave that to
I'm right there with you, dude. All right, how do you feed your collection?
So most of my collection is on frozen thawed. I have 1 to maybe 2 that are picky, and they usually have to have a live in between 2 frozen thawed meals. So usually I can get them to eat frozen thawed here and there, but eventually they'll go back to live.
That's weird.
I know, it's so weird. It's so weird, and it irks me. And I just had a girl that was killing it on frozen thawed for the longest time. Now she won't eat anything that's not live. So I don't know how that happens. I don't know what happens in their mindset, but you just have to adjust and keep it moving. Most of my animals are on rats.
Okay.
I have 1 snake on African soft furs. He only will eat African soft furs, but everybody else is on rats. So thank God.
That's just, my leopard lesser spot nose. That thing was smashing rats the whole first year, and then just out of nowhere, it's just like, nope, I'm done with rats. I only want mice now. And to this day, he only eats mice. It's like, what the heck? It works because I had to buy mice for these wingdings here, the carpets, because they refuse to eat rats. Now, I bounced a couple ideas off of Chris on how to get them to switch to rats, so we're going to try it, see what happens. But I mean, carpets are known to be just like basically garbage disposals. Like
that's what I heard. They're like boas; they just eat anything.
Yeah, not these two. Xena there, she'll get like massively angry and just defensive strike at a frozen thawed rat. And Agatha, the other one, like she just goes up to it and is like, nah, that's not a mouse, and turns her head. It's like, really? Like, come on, it's like live up to the expectation here a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird. I try to stay away from mice as much as possible, but every so often I'll get that finicky hatchling where I have to use a mouse to get them started, and usually I get them switch over to rats with no problem. The hardest part is the first meal I offer all my hatchlings is frozen thawed. I offer them a frozen thawed pinky or maybe a rat pup, depending on how big that hatchling is. But that's the first thing I offer, just to see if they'll go right to frozen thawed. I have about a 70% success rate with that first feeding with a frozen thawed. 1 or 2 will be like, nah, that's not for me, buddy. And I'll have to go get a live pinky rat or a rat pup, and they'll take that. But usually they'll take the frozen thawed. I do this trick where I thaw out in hot water for 10 minutes, and then right before I'm about to feed them, I take a blow dryer and blow dry the head of the mouse or rat just to get it extra hot so they know to grab the head. And usually it works. Pretty good success rate with that. I guarantee you should go buy a brand new blow dryer or hair dryer if you're going to do this. Don't use your wife's. They get very upset about that. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just saying they'll get upset. Just want to try to keep you from getting put on the couch for a week or so.
Oh shoot, M-Tip, what is up? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you showing up.
So that's another person I can say I brought. M-Tip, I brought him over. That's one more person.
I was gonna say, and I also know that they sponsor a lot of episodes on your channel as well.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. He's about to produce some nice stuff. He's working with Stranger Het Clown. He should be making Stranger Clowns this season.
Nice.
It's gonna be nice. He's got me interested in the Stranger gene as well. So I'm looking at that. Mahogany too. A lot of dark genes I'm trying to work with because I'm trying to put it into albino. So.
Well, but see, that's the thing though, like your albino project, you need the dark genes because that's what works best with the albino.
Yep.
So I mean, it is right up your alley.
True. Very true.
Let's see, Lucian said, I don't have any ball pythons right now, but I'm making a DIY enclosure and saving to buy. Excuse me, one hopefully by September. Till then, it's research, double check notes, and prep. Dude, that is the way to do it. Research, research.
Definitely.
Phil says Stranger is cool. In all honesty, like I've seen some Stranger stuff. What I saw looks nice, but I haven't really. It's not. I try to stay off Morph Market. I'm not gonna lie. I try not to do too much looking into stuff because right now I'm happy with what I have, and I would just want to improve what I have.
Yeah, I try. I've done really good at staying off of Morph Market the last month or so. It definitely helps when you're not on there all day. I've only been on there recently to check price points on things, to figure out what is this going for, what this might be going for, to figure out which way I want to take projects and which projects I can not somewhat buy into to be which would be the more financially smart way to get into that project. Because we're most of us are at the point where we're thinking about this as a business now, and you have to make better business decisions besides just, oh, that's pretty and I want to make it. You have to make a business decision on that project as well because it's an investment at this point. So I'm trying to wear that cap as well and learn the business aspect and how to invest in two projects to better fund the business that I want to do. I know that made no sense, but that's what I'm trying to do.
I know what you're saying. I know it made perfect sense to me. I'm sure it made perfect sense to everybody else.
Okay.
I was following you the whole way. Trust me. Right? I know exactly what you're saying. Because, like you said, I mean, you at some point, if you want to make this a business, you do need to make, you have to work with what you like.
Mm-hmm.
At the same token, there are those times where you have to. I don't want to say not, because that doesn't sound right though. You have to work with what you like, but at the same token, you have to go with things that are going to further your business along at the same time.
Yes.
I guess is what I'm trying to get at there. All right, now I think this is a good one. Sales techniques. What's your technique? How do you go about selling your hatchlings, your snakes? What works best for you?
So I didn't realize it was a sales technique until it started working for sales. I did the thing where Anthony from Granddaddy Herps does this thing where he puts people's names on eggs on it started out as who's your uncle clutch, but then it became a way to say thank you to people that are watching this channel and commenting and stuff. So I started doing that as well. But then I gave people the option that got their names on eggs to be able to buy the snake in that egg if I don't hold it back. They got first dibs on it.
See, that's a neat thing. That's cool.
actually worked. A lot of people usually when they got their name on an egg, they bought that snake. I would say most likely 50 to 40% of the time they would buy that snake, which
Okay.
was really cool. And so when people start realizing you would get first dibs by being on an egg, they made sure they commented on that clutch, which worked two ways. It got me to have more interaction on my YouTube channel, which is positive. YouTube wants to see people interact with your channel, but also almost guaranteed a sale once that whatever came out of that egg was what they wanted. It guaranteed a sale at that point.
That's true.
So I started doing that. So I started to actually push that more when I realized this is a great way of sales, way to advertise, and it does two things at once. So that's always a plus.
Now, I don't mean to interrupt, but how do you determine what name you use? Like,
so the way I determine a name is you have to comment on the video of me pulling that clutch.
okay.
So when you comment on the video of me pulling that clutch, I take the link for that and I put it in the YouTube random comment picker. So I spin it. So depending on how many eggs there are, I'll spin 5 times, and whatever 5 names come up get put on that egg, and that's how I do it. And I made a video. So it worked 3 ways actually. Now that I think about it, it got people to interact with the channel by commenting. Then it gave me a video to make. So I make a video of me doing that live. Well, almost live, but I record me doing it so people see me put the names on. So that gave me another video. And then you almost guarantee get a sale from that when the eggs hatch from that. So it works 3 different ways now. Wow.
I'm liking this. I might have to steal this a little bit. Thank you in advance.
All I ask, if you steal it, give Granddaddy Herbs Anthony the credit for coming up with the game, because that's where I took it from. So that's all I ask. I shot him out every time I started and do it just to show appreciation for him coming up with that idea, and I know that's where I got it from.
It is a brilliant idea. I never would have thought of it, but it really is.
And that was one of those things that just organically developed over time. I didn't even realize it until I started making sales from doing it that way. Till I realized, oh, this is actually a method right here.
Yeah, see, that's cool. So all right, because this is my other question now. So there's a YouTube random comment picker thing. Where is that app on YouTube?
So you just I just go to Google and put in YouTube random comment picker, and it'll pop up. It's just a website. There's a couple different ones. There's just a website that pops up. That's what I use when I do my giveaways. When I have people for my YouTube giveaways, you have to comment on a certain video. So I'll take the URL from that video and put it into the comment picker, and it'll bring up all the comments. And you can actually take out duplicates. So if somebody commented twice, it won't be on there twice. It'll just be on there once. And that's what I use for my giveaways and for my Who's Your Uncle clutches.
I'm going to have to look into that, because I thought about doing something, because we're hitting almost close to 600 subs. I think, like I said earlier, I think it's like 560. So kind of thought about like maybe doing like a shirt and like sticker pack giveaway thing for like 600 subs, something like that. So I'm probably gonna end up looking into that.
Yeah, definitely. I can send you the link to the site I use. It works real good. It's very easy to use. I'm not super computer savvy, so it works for me.
Trust me, I suck with technology. Technology is not my friend at all. Now, do you use Morph Market then? I'm assuming.
Yes, I still use Morph Market, but usually most of my stuff sells before it gets to Morph Market. So it's usually like 1 or 2 animals that go up there. I also use Instagram. I've started to use Instagram where I put it in my story. So I'll put what I have available in my story. A lot of people don't know. A lot of your stories disappear unless you put it into your highlights highlight. So there's those little bubbles on the front of your Instagram. If you make one, I made one for available animals. When I post a story about available animal, I'll click it into my highlights. So every time you go click available animals, it shows you which animals I have available. So
okay.
I can delete it if once that animal sells, I could delete it from there so it won't show there anymore. So you'll always know what animals I have available by just clicking that.
Yeah, that's nifty.
Yeah.
Nifty. All right, we got 2 more things. We're at over 2 hours. Sorry it's going so long. I know you normally have an hour point on yours. I appreciate you hanging in there with me.
Hey, it's been a good conversation, so I'm totally fine with that.
All right. Tips for new people going on YouTube and social media. I guess we kind of did cover that though earlier.
We could do a refresher, not a problem.
Quick little refresher.
I can add some stuff too. So let's start with Instagram first. Like I said before, put your name on there that you want people to call you by. 100%. Put that under in the bio. This is a newer tip. Use it's called, darn it, I forgot what it's called. Linktree. There's there's different websites. There's other ones too, but I use Linktree. Instagram only lets you put out one clickable link on your thing. Use Linktree so you can put out multiple different links to your other social media platforms. Definitely do that in your bio so people can click that and find you other places. 100%. Definitely put like an arrow down to it too so people know that's what that is so they can click and find your other social medias. Stay consistent on Instagram. If you do, I don't suggest you do a post every day, but start off doing a post every other day or every 3 days. Try to make sure you do it. If you Google the best time to post on Instagram, they'll give you like examples the best time people are on Instagram, which is all the time, honestly. Let's be honest. We're always on our phones. But that's definitely a way to go about it. And definitely try different hashtags and apparently put them in order now. That's also something I learned. That's one goal, one way to do Instagram. For YouTube, key is consistency, being consistent there too. If you're going to start doing your channel, try to do it either the same day or at least for the first few months, play around and see what day works for you, which one seems to get you more people viewing your channel, and work that around your schedule. Remember, people are in very different time zones at times. So post a video at a certain time and see if that gets views. Post it at a different time and see if it gets views. Thumbnails are very important, apparently. Yes. I'm learning how to get better at mine, but they're very important. Your titles are important as well. I didn't know that. I'm learning that as well. They're very important. Definitely use the tags. You can put over 500 characters in your tags. Use that because people search by certain keywords. It's amazing. Be consistent. If you're going to do videos with your face, be cheery, be happy sometimes. If you're doing a sad video, it's okay to be sad in that video, but you want people to feel invited when they come watch you. You want to invite them in to watch your video. So being happy, people like happy people. But if it's a sad video, it's okay to be sad on it. Try to be entertaining, and don't try to assume what you think people think entertaining is. Just try to think what you think is entertaining, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you do the videos for yourself, because you're definitely going to be the main one watching your videos, because you got to edit them. Editing is a whole nother story. But you're going to have to edit them. So you're going to want to make sure if you laugh watching your videos, most likely other people will laugh watching your videos. It might take some time to find the people that like your humor, but you'll eventually find them. Trust me. I have very weird humor, and I found people that like my humor, so you'll find it. But the key thing is being consistent. Find you a day that you want to post on. Once you get comfortable posting weekly, find you a day and stick to posting that day. Honestly.
And then to top off with what you were saying there, if you go to the analytics on the YouTube app or just YouTube Studio, I guess it is, there's a section there where it actually tells you out of your subscriber base when your subs are most active. So
Okay.
that's where I try to base, like, normally my Wednesday videos I drop at 10 because my sub base, it seems like it picks up right around like 11, 12 o'clock, around that lunch hour time. So I figure if I drop it at 10, you catch some of the early stuff, but it's there for when they go on lunch and everything. So that's
Interesting.
that's one thing I've kind of learned. I think my buddy Spath there is the one that got me looking at that, because I didn't know it was there either. But yeah, I mean, it goes by like a bar color scale type of deal.
Okay, that's another tip. Learn how to read your analytics. I'm learning myself. I'm still learning. I guess they're important. This is when you learn they're important. It can help you. It can help you better produce your channel and grow your channel.
Royal Cohabs wants to know, what's the reason to post on the same day? I mean, I think it's just YouTube rewards you more for consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of those probably unknowns on our end, but it's just part of their algorithm is the consistency aspect. Because I'm not gonna lie, my last week's video that dropped, I meant to, I always upload it Tuesday night, so that way at 10 o'clock on Wednesday it goes live. And I don't know what I was doing down here Tuesday night, but I completely forgot to do it. And I woke up Wednesday morning and I thought, shoot, I didn't upload that video. So I busted my butt at work to get done early so I could rush home and get it uploaded at a somewhat decent time for Wednesday still. Because it was just like, oh my God, I was afraid he was going to screw me up on the algorithm because, of so many times of posting at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, the algorithm will definitely help you when they know you're consistently bringing people in on a certain day. They'll push you on that day. Also, because human beings are creatures of habit. If you do something the same time every time a week, people get used to that and then they'll expect it. Like once I got real consistent on posting a certain day, there was a day where I didn't post that week and people messaged me, was like, hey, what's going on? There's no video. And I was like, oh, I'm just taking a break. Don't worry. So that's just human nature. Humans are consistent. They like habits, and once they form a habit, they stick to that habit to the day they die sometimes. So get into people's habits.
And the other thing is too, is I think like you just said about, you took a break for a little bit. At some point, some people do need to take a little bit of a break just to, I don't know, refresh, just kind of unwind a little bit from doing this, I think. I mean, you just said you did. I know Billy took a slight break from doing his live streams. So I mean, at some point, I think everybody that I've watched has taken a slight break. So even if you have to take a break, it is what it is. You have to do what's best for you.
Yep. Mental health is very important. You can get burned out on YouTube. You get burned out on any social media, honestly. That's why I cater my social media to what I want. A lot of people, I hear this all the time. Oh, I'm so tired of social media. I'm tired of seeing this. Well, stop following stuff that lets you see that. Follow the stuff that you want to see. You can delete all that other stuff. You can have that stuff not come to your feed 100%. I only follow the stuff I want to see. So if I'm seeing negative things, that's because I wanted to see that. I take that out.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. All right, last topic. If anybody has any questions, drop them in the comments before we call it a night. But do you have any tips for new breeders coming into the hobby?
Oh boy. If you're coming in, do your research before you come in. 100% check. Depend it. Ooh. So it depends on if you're just here to make some cool stuff or you're trying to make this a business. It really fluctuates. So let's go with the cool stuff first. If you just want to make some cool stuff and see if you can breed, go crazy. Go pick up the stuff you want. You don't need to worry about your timetable or getting females or males first. Go get the stuff you want to make to put together the stuff you want to make into. Do that 100%. If you trying to make this into a business, you got to kind of sit down, play on morph markets, see what's selling for what's moving fast, what's being held on morph market for a long period of time, what's easy to produce, what takes a minute to produce, how much you want to invest into a project and how much that project would make you once it gets to maturity to be able to breed. And then realize even if it does breed, you might not make that thing you're trying to make to be able to sell it because sometimes you don't hit the odds. So you have to weigh the options of the odds that you would make that animal in the time frame it would take you to make that animal, how much it takes to for you to raise up that animal.
Yep.
If you, for me, if I was getting in and I got the knowledge I know now, I'm getting all recessive females. If I can, I'm getting double recessive females, but I'm getting recessive females, recessive het females if I can, double recessive females if I can, or triple recessive females if I can, if I'm really throw out that kind of money. I'm getting my females first. I'm going to grow them up for a year, maybe a year and a half, and then I'm going to go get a power male that can work with multiple different females to expand into multiple different projects so I can maximize that male. I would say get an ultrasound too because it allows you to maximize how many females you can put that male to and know which females are ready. You're still working with Mother Nature. Even if you know that female has follicles, you're breeding her, she still can maybe not go. You may not get healthy eggs. But this getting an ultrasound is a tool that can help you get a one step on that.
Very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful. I'm so glad I have my ultrasound. I'm not saying it's necessary, but it's a great tool to have. 100%. Talk to established breeders. A lot of them are really open to share information, let you know about projects, let you know about how their projects sell or move or what they're holding on to usually. Ask them about that. Ask them if this is a great project to get in. Do you see legs in this project as well? But also, your biggest thing, get stuff you want to work with. You're going to have some stuff that you necessarily don't want to work with that do make beautiful animals that sell fast.
Yep.
But you really going to need to have stuff you're passionate about working with on a day-to-day basis because you're going to be cleaning those animals day in and day out. Or you're going to be breeding rats to feed those animals day in and day out. And you want to look at something you like to look at when you go in that room, 100%.
Yeah, I completely agree. We just had Adam pop in. Adam, what is up, brother? Good to see you in the audience there.
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
All right. Royal Cohab said, I don't know if this is a question for us or if it's a question in general for everybody, but we'll take it for us. First year breeding, they were breeding 4 females, but came across a collection with 10 breeding females. Should I breed more than 4? I was breeding, or should I breed all 14?
So I'm assuming he picked up those 10 breeder females. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So he has 14. I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay.
You go first.
Put me on the spot now. I would have to say my first question is, if all 14 go, do you have the space for 14 clutches? Do you have the means to take care of? I mean, all right, like throughout my first season last year, I had figured first year females, I thought 4 eggs per female would be good. Well, I was completely wrong with what I was figuring because my lowest number was 4. I had a 4, a 5, 4, 5, 5, and 7. So I would say, and I learned this from Billy. Plan on 10 eggs from each female. Then that way it averages out. You're gonna have clutches that go big. You're gonna have clutches that go small. You're gonna have room for it. So make sure you have room for the hatchlings. Make sure you have a means to feed all those hatchlings. Because you're talking rough. If going with that, 140 snakes roughly. Probably gonna be less than that, but just figure roughly. That's gonna take a lot of money to feed 140 hatchlings. It's the space. You have to weigh what are you able to take care of. And Kai said it best. I think it was on. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was on your live.
Yeah, it was on my live.
Because you know exactly what I'm going to say. Think about what you can take care of when you're at your worst. Like sick as a dog, what are you going to be able to take care of? And I think those are the big things you need to ask yourself, and then think about, and just be honest with yourself. I think to me that's the big thing.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I was at the point where I was like, I'm gonna have 60 breeder females and 10 breeder males, and I'm just gonna breed like crazy. And then what Kai said hit me in a different way, and I was like, oh wait. Let me rethink that and retool what I would be capable of taking care of when I'm sick. So it really, honestly, I would suggest breed the 4 females you're planning to breed now, since it's your first year, and see what you get. Honestly, see what you get, see the eggs you produce, see the hatchlings you get, go through that process on a small scale before you go through that process on a larger scale. Just so you kind of get your feet wet and understand what's going to happen with breeding and taking care of not only eggs to hatchlings. It's a whole different thing when you're trying to get a ball python started feeding. And you never know what health issues you might have in the process of them hatching. You might get twisted umbilical cords, shark jaw, kinks. You rather go through that on a small scale than a large scale right away on your first season. At least I believe.
I think that, yeah, because if you do the 4 clutches, that lets you get some experience under your belt, and then next year, the next season, you'll know exactly what you're in for. You're prepared a little bit better as to what you're going to be dealing with, and I think it would probably be the smarter move, but that's just my thought. I completely agree, man. All right, let's see here. What are the genes in the other? What are the genes in the other females? Creative wants to know. I'd be interested in knowing too. Lucian said, "This reminds me, I need to make a trip up to the pet shop and sell feeder rats." I guess they've been talking about rats.
Yep. Yeah, they're talking about getting their first snake and figuring out, doing all the research and learning. Definitely what rats you can get in mice. That's definitely That's if you're about to get your first snake, definitely figure out where your supply of rats going to come from. If you're going to buy from a big rat breeder where they ship to you, or you have a local guy that breeds rats, or a pet store. Pet store prices are going to be high.
Oh my God, dude. Pet store prices. They hurt.
Yeah.
They hurt.
Yeah. I'm if I can start making a little more money from the snakes, I can kind of twist my wife's arm to let me breed my own rats, which will cut my rat bill down. For my collection, I won't need to breed many rats. I would just only need to produce like 100 to maybe 120 rats a month for me to be able to just feed my collection and any little off, have a little left over just in case. And that won't take more than like a 4 to 5 high rack to do that with, and I'll be fine. Which I won't have to clean as much and be crazy, spend hours cleaning rats. So hopefully I can do that in the next year. But it would have to be outside because she has super good sense of smell, and there's no way I could keep rats clean enough to be in the house to where she wouldn't go crazy and kick me out the house.
I had thought about the raising the rats things too. I even had talked to Phil about helping me set up a shed for it. And then my wife kind of, she's like, well, with everything you do, if you throw rats on top of it, you're not going to have time for the family stuff. And it kind of got me thinking, like, you know what, you're right. And I got a really good rat supplier that's 20 minutes away. I send him a text like a week or two in advance of me actually needing the rats. And, we just meet up whenever it suits and it's good to go. And like Creative here said, it's $6 for a small where they're at, which
Jesus.
I know. Well, for my local pet shop to get a live rat pup, because I was having to buy a live rat pup once a week for one of these hatchlings. It was like $3 a rat pup. And it's like, this is freaking ridiculous. And finally, I got the sucker to take frozen thaw. Finally. But, I mean, it was just like, this is going to get expensive if this snake doesn't switch over.
Yeah.
I was looking at that. I think I was like, my rat pups for my rat guy, I think it's roughly like $1 a piece. So I think when I got weaned from him, it was $1, like $1.50, $1.40, something like that. So, I mean, definitely a lot cheaper if you can find yourself either a good rat guy or just someone that isn't a pet shop.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Rats can do some serious damage to your home. Yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be a shed out in my yard. Definitely. Just to not have to worry about the escapees.
Yeah. Let's see here. Adam, so you just found a local supplier that delivered. So I did. I did notice you said that on your last video there, Alan, that you got a guy that, or was that your? I think you said that on today's video about you got a guy that delivers and this and that. So that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good. Another thing, if you do start breeding your own rats, even if I start breeding my own rats, I think I'm still feed frozen thawed. Because just in case I have to, if I ever have to, like, if I start breeding and then something happens where I can't breed rats anymore, I don't want to have to try to re-switch my whole collection from live back to frozen thawed. So I would still feed frozen thawed just to be safe. I mean, if I can produce, like some people, I don't know, it was Exquisite Exotics, I believe, I could be wrong. Sorry if I'm wrong, guys. I think they have certain clutches that are just to feed their collections. So they produce either pies or albinos or something like that from one clutch just to feed their collection. And I was trying to set something up like that for myself, which I might do still, where I produce either just pies or albinos, which I know sell for a certain amount of number that I can that would be just to feed my collection for the year or something. So these are the things you got to think about.
Yeah.
As you breed, as you add more animals, that means your rat bill gets higher. That means your bedding bill gets higher. That means more time cleaning your animals. You have to take that stuff into factors. Even when you produce babies, when you go from, I have 30 snakes and I produce 18 to 20 babies all of a sudden, that there's time that you got to take care of those babies, feed those babies, put bedding for those babies. That you have to factor that in.
Yep. Now, since you brought up bedding, that's something I probably should have thought of even asking you. What do you use for bedding for your snakes? Do you use cocoa or?
So I use cocoa, but I use a different brand than anybody else does. I use what's the name of it?
Oh, that's
It's
right.
called
You just did a video on that too.
I use Grow It. Um, it was mostly used for hydroponic stuff for flowers and stuff, and that's where I get it from. I get it from a hydroponic store. I've been using it for the last almost 4 years now. I've been using it. It's actually a little cheaper than Coco Pro Coco. Is it Pro Coco? I think it's Pro Coco. It's a little cheaper, and I feel it works the same. It keeps humidity. It mows just like the other stuff mows when you leave it in too long. I don't care what anybody say about this cocoa stuff not molding. It all molds. It molds eventually. It's just the way it works. That's what happens with humidity in a dark space and heat. You're gonna get mold. It's not mold resistant, but it works real good. It usually is pretty clean. Every so often you'll have a little bit of plastic in here and there, but nothing drastic that's gonna hurt my snakes or anything like that. And I can get it. I can actually get it. That's a bigger thing, that I can get it locally. I don't have to get it shipped to me. I just go to the store. I did talk to the store I get my stuff from, and they started ordering extra for me. So having extra on hand. So I usually go by 3 to 4 almost every 5 months. I'll go by 3 to 4, and it lasts me almost 5 months to 4 months for my collection. So it works for me. Trying to keep it a secret, so don't go get it.
Well, I originally was using Freedom Breeders Cocoa Blocks, and I thought that was about as best as it could get. And then Chris there at BNS Reptilia showed me this Cocoa to Go and the chipper stuff, like different levels of, I guess different levels, different tiers of. It all looked nice. It's more if you wanted more hairy, like. There's different tiers, levels of it, I guess. Different grades, I guess is the right way to put it. But the Cocoa to Go stuff, it comes in a big, like 50-pound bale. It's already pre-moistened. So, you literally just open the bag up and it's ready to go. But, oh, my God, is that nice looking stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't.
I've seen it. It does look very pretty.
I see Phil was throwing it out there. See, Phil beat me to the punch because I was going to do the same thing. And then after he did it, it's like, well, everybody there at the breakfast already, all of us already threw out the same picture, tagging everybody else in it. So it's like I didn't want to go and copy and do the same thing with the
True.
So it's like, all right, I'll just do the video on it when I start using it because I'm gonna say maybe 355-40 tubs worth of Freedom Breeder stuff left. So I got to keep just a little bit so that way I can show the comparison of it. But man, after seeing and just even putting it in the storage container and stuff, oh man, I'm super impressed with that stuff.
I understand. Like, you do want something that looks good too, that looks good on film. That definitely helps. It makes your videos pop. It makes your videos stand out. 100%. My Grow It it's not the prettiest per se at times. It does have little weird shreds in it here and there, but every so often I get a good block where it's nice and thick, so you'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, and like I say, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
Adam, you are right. He is. He really is.
He is. He's on top of it.
All right. Well, that's all I have, Gershon. Does anybody else in the audience have any questions for either of us? While we give a minute here for anybody to throw anything out there. Next week, I probably should have said this a lot earlier when we had like 20-some people in. But next week, see, these are the dedicated people. I'll say.
Yeah, these are the people are going to be here next week.
Yeah. Next week, there's no live. Sadly, so YouTube's gonna like beat me to the ground for not having a live, probably.
Oh,
but I'll be out at Comic-Con meeting.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, meeting like the cast of Christmas Vacation, and they have Christopher Lloyd that played Doc from Back to the
Yeah.
Future, and the guy that played Bishop from Aliens is going to be there. Like,
Oh really? Oh.
yeah. Have you ever watched the Viking series?
No, I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that.
They have the guy that played Bjorn Ironside. He's going to be there. Like, they've just got all these people, and I messaged my brothers like, dude, I don't know how I'm even going to pay for this trip. Like, I went through what they're charging for autographs. It's just like, oh my god, this is going to be the most expensive con I've ever gone to.
Yeah, so, I definitely want to go to a bigger con. We had one in Madison. That's where I am. They had a con here. I went there. It was all right. But I definitely want to go to like a Chicago or LA or San Diego. Definitely want to do that one of these times.
Yeah, dude. Like, I haven't been to like any huge cons. Like, we always go out to Monroeville. It's close to Pittsburgh, but that's the one we always go to. I've been to one down around Philly. There at the Oaks. The craziest one I ever did was we drove 6 hours one way to go up to Rhode Island to a Comic-Con up there. Drove up there. I think we were only up there for a couple hours and then drove back. It was like the craziest thing I've ever done, and I swore I wouldn't do it again. And then now I'm thinking about doing the drive for Tinley next spring, so there's 9-hour drive one way.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, Tinley is worth it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Not only just to see, have the experience, but to get to meet like so many people like you, and get to meet Angie and Jeff.
Yeah.
Just, all the people I watch and or that support me. I think it's just be a great thing. So it's like, you know what? I talked to the wife about it. She's going to try to make a trip out of it, so that way she gets something out of it more than snakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to see, our family from here and see snakes, and I'm going to have to pick something up to justify the drive. So
yeah, I understand. It happens too. I did my best to only pick up one thing, and I picked it up before I even got to Tinley. Like, I already had paid for it before I got to Tinley, so I didn't spend any money at Tinley except for food and gas.
That's not bad.
In a couple, I did for Pack Pythons, Pack Racks did a NRBC picture in a glass where he had everybody put their stickers on it. So I put money towards that and put my sticker on that. So I'm trying to raise the awareness for did I say that right? NRBC? Yeah. Try to raise from US Arc. Try to raise awareness for US Arc and stuff.
That's awesome.
I'm bad with acronyms.
Dude, we're approaching that almost 3-hour point, so you're allowed to start plugging the head. Trust me, I completely understand. Like, I've noticed, like, as I've gotten more comfortable doing this, like, the lives just seem like they're getting just like a little bit longer every time. Like, we started at like an hour and a half, like, mark. And now then it creeped up to 2 hours, and now every time it creeps up right close to that 3-hour mark.
Yep, that's what happens when you have fun and start talking about snakes and the passion and learning stuff from other people. You just keep going.
It is. But so yeah, next week no live. On the 17th, though, I have Riley Jimson from Riley's Reptiles coming on. That's going to be a complete different type of show, because Riley doesn't work with ball pythons at all that I know of, but it's going to be carpet pythons, all sorts of Morelia, because he works with several different locales of carpets.
Okay.
He works with like rainbow boas and crebos. Like, he just couple different geckos, and he just works with a lot of different stuff. And especially with me getting into the carpets, in the future, breeding them approaching very rapidly. That was one person I wanted to get on, because I'll learn stuff. Figured so many people in here, it's just a little bit change of pace. So
exactly.
So he'll be on next week, or not next week, the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
We have Chad from Richie's Recessives on the 24th. And then Billy is May the 1st. So that is one I'm really looking forward to.
Nice.
And then we got a whole bunch. And then we got Ryan from Smitty Serpents on May 8th.
You know that's Star Wars Day, right?
No, May the 4th is Star Wars Day.
Oh, he's on. I thought you said he's on May the 4th.
No, May 1st.
Oh, May 1st. Okay,
May 1st.
Never mind.
Yep, no,
I got nerdy. Sorry.
No. I don't. Let me look here. I don't know what day Star Wars Day falls on, but this channel will be having a Star Wars Day special of some way, shape, or form.
So it's on Wednesday.
It is. That's my normal day.
So it works out perfectly.
Exactly, and that'll be one of your.
Is that
videos?
Okay, so it works out both ways. Oh wow! See, sometimes the universe just aligns.
I was gonna say, dude,
works.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
That's the force. That's the force.
Exactly. And then May 8th, I have Ryan from Smitty Serpents. John Dog from JD Constriction is May 15th. Tentatively, I have to get in touch with him at the beginning of May just to make sure nothing changed.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have Tish from Python Spawn for May 22nd. And then I kind of quit booking at that point because I just wanted to get a little bit closer to the dates.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
But so that's all I got. Gershon, you got anything else you want to bring up, brother? Anything you mention, shout out?
Nope. I as you know, I have my own podcast on my channel, GP Snakes. I have a podcast called Under 1,000 Pod. I do every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I usually drop my regular videos on my channel on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Document my breeding. I have a actual series on my channel called Grow Out that comes out every last Thursday of the month, where I show you my holdbacks, certain holdbacks as they grow, shed, poop, breed, and all that. It's called Grow Out. Definitely check that out. I did have a YouTube series called Mealtime. I'm debating if I'm going to continue doing that one. Now that we don't necessarily have to worry about the Lacey Act right now, I think that got amended or pull it off. I think I'm going to bring that back. It's me showing my animals feeding. It's mostly all frozen thawed feeding. Every so often there's a live feeding in there. So just to be warned if you're not okay with live feeding. I also have another YouTube series called Next Up, where I bring somebody about to start their first YouTube video, reptile YouTube channel, and I introduce them to my audience and hopefully become their audience and push everybody to their first video to help you get that little boost on your first video. If you are thinking about starting your reptile YouTube channel this year, hit me up. We could definitely talk and we can get you scheduled for an interview and get you on that as well. But other than that, check me out on all my social media platforms. Just put GP Snakes into Google and you'll find me. I've been flooding everything with my stuff for the last 2 years. So I'm the first thing that pops up, GP Snakes.
And all of Gershon's social media stuff is in the description because I copied it right off of your page. So,
okay. Yeah.
So everything should be down there. So links, all that stuff, just click on them. Hopefully they work. They should work.
What's this cookie jar we're talking about?
Okay. All right. Phil had to go there. Okay. So Shady Maple has this huge gift shop I've never been in, even though I live in the area. So Phil's like, well, let's go down to the gift shop and look around. He goes, because there's apparently Star Wars stuff down there.
Oh.
So it's just like, punch a guy in the gut. So it's like, okay, let's go down here and look at this. So we're there walking around. He goes, I don't know where this store. He goes, it should be here. It was here last time. So we're there walking around looking. And I'm upset. Like, my favorite character is Boba Fett. And, of course, the first, there was a Chewie cookie jar, there was a Vader cookie jar, and then there was a Boba Fett helmet cookie jar. And this thing was detailed pretty nice. It even had, the dent.
Okay, yeah.
My eyes completely skipped over everything and went right to the helmet. And it was just it was killing me because I just bought those pies this week, and this cookie, like I picked this cookie jar up. I'm there looking at it. It's like, okay, it's $73. It's a little overpriced for something. For a cookie jar that's not ever going to get used because I'll be afraid someone's going to break it.
Yep.
So I stood there and I stared at this thing. I put it down and I kept going back and looking at it. And it's like, oh man, it's like I yelled at Phil. I was like, dude, you just had to bring me here, didn't you? It's like, you just had to bring me here. I ended up letting the cookie jar go because I figured if I brought that home, I'd be dead.
Yeah. Understandable.
And then we got to looking around even more. And then on the other side of the little island thing there, they had these. I've never seen it. It's probably a one of one thing done in the whole world. But they took like the movie posters, slimmed them down in size. But then they put actual like the film strip, what like that would have been running through the camera that has like the picture of it. They had an actual clip out of that from the actual original film, supposedly.
Oh, wow.
Or it's probably not the original film.
Probably not the original, but
a reproduction of the original. And it was just like, you got to be kidding me. And there's all these things there. And, of course, they got one, Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite. So I was like, needless to say, I was ready to get out of the gift shop section because it's like, I'm gonna end up, doing something bad. Like,
I've spent so much money in this gift shop that I'm not supposed to do. I can understand that. And then Phil's big thing was he goes, well, now you know where it's at when you can buy it. It's like, yeah. I'm surprised you didn't take the cookie jar and was like, hey, put this in the back. I'll get it eventually.
The original cut. No, it said original cut. Okay. So would that? Guess that would
that be original? Like, I would think that's something they wouldn't have at a small town gift shop. I think that'd be something.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Exactly. I think that would be something that they would have on auction that would go for millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, dumber things have probably happened in the world.
True.
Either way, it was a neat piece that, but the cookie jar still, oh man, I still have been thinking about that cookie jar. Thanks a lot. I'm thinking about it even more.
You're going to eventually go back and get that cookie jar.
I probably will. See, and if I do, then I have to go and make that an episode on my Star Wars channel, for which I haven't touched in probably a month. Just because I've been so focused on this one and everything else going on. And the Star Wars channel is kind of like a side thing to begin with. And I just kind of lost steam on that one, in all honesty. Because I want to push this one, because this is the main one that I'm worried about being successful. Yeah. So the Star Wars one, it is what it is. But, at some point I'll put more stuff on it. But if I would go get the cookie jar, I think you would have to err on that one.
I used to have a comic book channel where I talked about all comic book TV and news stuff, movies, and I did a podcast too. Like, I did reviews, and then I did a podcast talking about weekly news stuff, and I loved doing it because it was stuff I was excited about. You could hear it in my voice when I was talking about it. It didn't take off, and it was taking a lot of time to do it because I would have to find stories, learn about names, learn what was going on throughout the week. And I was like, well, the snake stuff is starting to take off a little bit more. It's starting to get a little popular. So I said, I'm going to just shut this channel down. I left everything where it is. You can still find it. It's called Black Geek Cool if you're interested in seeing old stuff I did and see me nerd out about stuff. But I decided to leave it there for a bit. I might go back to it someday. If I hit the lottery, I'll definitely go back to it because I'll have a lot more time. But yeah, we sometimes have to juggle passions. Yep. Some passions have to get put aside for others. It's just the way it goes sometimes.
It is. I completely agree. And Rob, you better not go touch my cookie jar.
Well, that's going to be a clippable. So when your son starts doing TikToks, that's a clippable moment he could put on TikTok. 100%.
Yes. Dad in his cookie jar. Oh shoot! All right. Well, everybody, I think we gotta call it a night. We're approaching that 3-hour mark. I gotta be up at 5 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going back to work at 6 a.m. now. Well, I got to get up at 6 a.m. I was working night shift, so I'm back to days. So this first day back tomorrow.
Yeah, getting used to that schedule. Yeah. Because when I'm on layoff, like I stay up late because I know I can sleep in during the day.
Yep.
But then that first week back to normal schedule is just it's killer.
Yeah. Very hard. Very hard.
So stay on here, Gershon. Everybody, thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Make sure you guys check out Gershon's channel. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know if you guys have let me know if you guys have anybody you want to see on the show for me to try to get. I put a thing out to Justin. I have trying to work a thing out with Ozzy. Sounds like maybe I can get him in for July. So if you have someone you want to that you want to see on here or you think would be a good guest, put them in the comment section and I'll hit them up. So that's going to be it. And we'll catch you next time, everybody. Take it easy.
Bye.
Later.